welcome to the Kinda Gaming Show live on YouTube.com.
I thought you were part of the song at first.
I know, I was right there in tune with it, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Nice harmonizing.
Thank you, man. So we got the normal crew in here tonight with us. Connor.
What's up, everybody?
Brandon.
Hello.
Miguel.
There's no such thing as a normal crew.
That's
We're
fair.
always a different fucking crew.
That's fair. And we have Bernard back there in the back.
Hey.
That was redundant.
I think
And
Connor's the only absolute constant.
Yeah, I've been in every single show.
that's true. I have not. But we have a very special guest with us here tonight.
I can't wait to see who this is. Yeah.
He is a fellow
You sure he's coming
chaotic radioer. He is the host of the Jack of All Nerds show, along with my boss. So he had to come here. Mike!
Hello.
Yay!
What's up, man?
Our soundboard isn't working, so we have the board. All right.
So special and welcome. Thank you.
Yep.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course, man. So for anyone who doesn't know, real quick before we get into our
I eat all
top,
of us.
we have top 5 Xbox games tonight. I have this present open. He's gonna eat a very hot chip.
The one chip
Wow.
challenge. Yeah,
Exactly, the
hockey.
one chip challenge. Tell us about the Jack of All Nerds show.
Well, the Jack of All Nerds show airs here on chaoticradio.com Sundays from 8 to 10 p.m.
Right here?
Right here from
damn.
this
Right
very
fucking
location.
here.
The seats are still warm from where you guys say. It's great. No, and it's a kind of a comedy nerd show. We talk about everything: movies, comics, cosplay, everything, music.
It sounds like our show, but better.
television.
Yeah,
They have
that's
a
good way
much
to put it.
They have a much better intro.
Yeah?
Sweet.
Yeah, they do. Is their board working?
Ours is different every time.
Right?
Ours is different
We
every
don't
time.
have an
They
intro.
they have a great intro.
We're chaotic.
Give us any chance, we'll take it. Resist any rule, we'll break it.
It's 8 p.m., kiddies, and you know what that means.
All right. Don't want to
I
play their
can
whole
see.
intro.
This is
We don't
cool.
want to get sued
by him.
by
the
him.
same.
You know, like,
Radio.
I'm judging by like the 4 of us, we could totally do like some barbershop quartet type shit for our intro.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm bassy. You're fucking all the way up there, like with nut twisters and.
Oh, what's soprano?
No, see, we'd require skill to do that.
Well, Andrew,
Talent.
Andrew and I can sing.
Just auto tune that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at this guy.
There's the 2 singers and T-Pain. Right
Yeah,
over
yeah,
there.
we'll auto-tune the shit out of you, Miguel. It'll be a barbershop, well, triplet? I don't know. But
Brendan's not participating.
It's triple.
I never said anything. You guys just kind of cut me out of
Yeah.
it. You're like,
I'm not
we'll
sh-
sing and he'll be auto-tuned. Like,
I'm not sure.
Sweet.
Well, yeah, I'm not sure if Brandon sings, but
I can do my thing.
You know what's funny is T-Pain can really fucking
he
sing.
can.
Oh,
he
he
actually
can.
can. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Very well, actually.
Mike can sing. I hear him sing all the time. You sing every time you do that bit.
Every time he's in the
Live.
shower?
Which bit?
They're after the birthday. You're like, all right, let's do warm up, and
Oh,
you
the
get on
warm-up
your
bit.
knee,
Yeah,
and you.
that's it. That's what I do.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect.
It's amazing.
Perfect.
So other than Jack of All Nerds, if anyone wanted to, listen to you or follow you or on the street, or
Stalk
where
me.
where could they
Right.
find you?
Pretty much all our social media is all linked through our website, jackofallnerdshow.com. If you're also into just video games, I host a YouTube live stream on the Nerdbot page. That's their video game show. That's Tuesday nights from like 8 to 9 p.m.
Cool.
Very cool. And what do you guys just talk about like the current gaming topics? What do you guys cover?
We pick a topic each week, and we try to engage the audience as much as possible. And usually, at the end of the show, we let them know if you guys have a topic you want us to talk about, throw it in the comments, and that may be our next episode, that kind of a thing. So
That's why they're better. They have an audience.
Wow.
Wow.
That's been it the whole time.
We actually do have a good amount of listeners on the apps normally. but-
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
it's
the app's
alright.
dead tonight.
Yeah. We had a great amount of audience when we had guests that had 1 million subscribers on.
Yeah, that was
That'll
interesting.
happen.
never hurts. It never hurts.
No, no, exactly. It would be, they would call us and they'd be like, "Oh yeah, we have a question for them." Well, why not us? Like, We're here
Who
too.
the fuck are
You
we?
called
Who the
this
fuck are
number.
we? Exactly. when Bernard answers the phone, he says chaotic radio, not
Magic
fucking-
Carp used fly.
Oh yeah, exactly. You're
No, I
comparing-
did. I said Magikarp use fry.
Use fry.
Let's try it.
That's
Yeah,
more.
You
You
didn't pay me enough.
racist.
I was gonna say that's more relevant than fly though for Magikarp.
Yeah, no, he's talking about frying
Fry
a fish. not-
Yeah.
What's wrong with you, Andrew?
Come on.
The channel name is
You voted
Magikarp
for
Use
You
Fly.
voted for Trump, didn't you?
Ah,
Yeah.
it was
I
you.
Would, I would never.
It's your
Bernard.
fault.
There's only one man in this room that voted for Trump.
His name is Andrew. Man, I didn't vote at all. No
All
point at
right.
me.
So I guess I'm gonna open this.
I had to
this
look up. I was like, "You're
box.
not pointing at me, are you?"
I know.
So-
I was like, wait a minute.
So last week I gave some homies some presents.
What?
Did you bring his and he wasn't here?
You actually got
I-
me something?
Yeah, it's at home.
Wow. Thanks for letting me know.
Yeah, you're welcome, buddy. It's that beer right there. So
Yeah.
Oh man.
I
Enjoy
guess this
that.
is what I get for giving
Oh.
you guys things last week.
Oh man.
What's in the box?
Hey, no, you're the-
It's Connor's head.
You could just pull the. It's a
bow,
It's a
yeah,
bow.
there.
Yeah.
I
don't know how to tie
I don't know
shoes?
how to
You're just
bu-
tightening it. There you go. I was like, you're just
Oh.
making it
Jeez.
tighter.
How
I am
embarrassing.
blonde. I am blonde for a reason.
Your
you're
life just got so
doing.
much easier.
Where everybody can see you on the radio. I need to see what it
I
is.
saw the picture on back and instantly knew.
What is it?
Is this
Oh,
fucking Teenage Mutant
dude.
Ninja Turtles John Cena?
Whoa!
It's not John Cena. It's Finn Balor.
Whoa, dude!
That's so
No way!
That is so fucking cool.
That's dope.
I was so surprised by the fact that
That's how this was made?
that this crossover happened.
What?
WWE and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Where do you find
This is-
that?
you know what? This is also
Stores.
series 2.
Target?
I just want to point that out.
Wow, they did it before.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's really cool.
And
That's
decided
going up on the wall.
That it was worth it to make another series.
Yeah, right. I saw that and I was like, oh,
Dope,
and it's,
let me
and
see
it's,
the rest
It's
of 'em.
also not Michelangelo. Like, it's perfect for you.
Well,
Michelangelo's an
Michelangelo
idiot.
is
I love
some
Mikey,
Irish
so-
guy.
Ouch.
He's
an
Rowdy.
idiot.
Roddy Piper.
He's the least useful turtle. Like,
Yeah, but he makes the
What
most
about
quips.
Donatello as the ultimate
also you'd
warrior?
fit in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah,
right?
perfectly.
Why is Raphael the Rock?
Let's make that happen.
Exactly,
I
because
don't
he's
know.
garbage.
I thought that was weird too.
Miguel, not to, he really does not like the Marvel
I
movies.
kind
Hey, I don't either.
of got that vibe
Whoa.
right then. It's
I
weird.
like Doctor Strange and Thor Ragnarok.
I only like Doctor Strange as
About
a,
it.
as a
Looks
as a
fucking
visual.
They were dope.
As
Both
a
of them
visual
were dope.
experience.
I just
Yeah.
like
Ragnarok,
I don't.
that was
Doctor
just
Strange
funny.
doesn't
I
do
liked it,
this
though.
motion very much, but that's what I always think about. He more or less does this one,
Yeah.
but for some reason I think this. But that's more of
Comics.
fucking.
That's great radio. This.
Well, people. No, we're only on YouTube right now, so fucking
that's
people
fair.
can see me. Like I know I wouldn't normally do that, but we're only on YouTube tonight, so people can see me do my fucking.
Either
arm
way,
thing. This is more.
glad
of
we
a-
can agree that they suck.
Yeah, we'll have a discussion on
What's
that.
Zatanna's dad's name again?
What? Who?
Zatanna's dad.
Oh fuck!
Oh.
Zatanna Zatara.
What are you talking about?
Well, first off, you're getting into DC.
Yeah, I know.
it's like what the.
But I'm
fuck's
saying
going on?
he does that.
You guys make me
Either
want to
way.
drink.
Yeah.
Fuck is it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Either way, what are we gonna do now? Now that
Oh,
you've opened
so
this present.
before we get into all that,
What are we gonna
I
do
want to
now?
say, what have you been playing recently, Mike? You're a very busy guy, but what have you been into lately?
In the late hours of the night, I play lots and lots of Overwatch.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh shit! Okay,
Yeah,
what platform
buddy.
are you on?
I am on Xbox. So
Oh,
no,
No,
so
no.
it's a terrible
disgusting.
experience.
Yeah, it sure is.
It is the worst.
I play on PC. It's the only game I play on PC.
Oh, you actually play?
Yeah.
Oh, what the
We've
fuck?
talked about Overwatch a lot on the show.
No, but yeah, I don't.
Zenyatta main.
Oh,
Get outta here.
I don't remember talking to you.
And
about it
Moira
at all.
You,
is
you guys
phenomenal.
go on forever about it.
I don't remember talking.
No,
to you
actually,
about
the episodes where we've spoken about on here, he was absent. We spoke-
No,
When
I've
did-
been here. I've
Children.
The time we were speaking with Quaid and
Whatever.
Joy.
Joy. Yes.
cool.
So who's your main?
Reaper.
Oh, weird.
Is it?
I don't play. So
No, I just hate
I'm
Reaper because I'm Zenyatta.
I could have just said
Oh,
anything,
yeah.
and you'd have been like, yeah,
Yeah,
fair.
Yeah,
yeah,
cool,
absolutely.
Neat.
All you have to do is go pop, 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 and Zenyatta's dead.
Who's your main? Mario.
Mario.
Not yeah. I know that one.
And she's like, oh, cool.
Yeah, nice man.
On a serious note, Moira, the new one,
Yeah.
is mean. She needs to be balanced.
Yeah.
Hardcore.
I think
'cause it's
she's
fun.
fun.
She's broken, man.
No,
I don't
you
think she's-
hold down your right trigger and you're just like, you die in 2 seconds. Like,
No, not really.
yeah, I was doing it yesterday. I got play. The only time I get play of the game
What?
with her.
What's your SR?
Dude, I'm level 92.
92.
Not even a star. Just
Okay.
level 92.
Yeah, that's your problem.
No problem. I have fun playing the game.
Fair enough.
I don't like it. I tried playing it. Don't like it.
It's okay.
The
It's not for
only-
everybody.
You don't care for shooters a whole lot, do you?
I don't either.
I've been playing so much Fortnite. It's ridiculous.
That's funny,
That
'cause
could also
that's
be not.
regrettable.
I
only a
really
shooter.
don't enjoy the shooting in that game, so maybe that has something to do with it.
Well, unlike us, Mike paid $50 for Fortnite
Oh, what the hell?
before.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
When they first
Founder
released
package or
it,
something?
when they first released it in beta, you had to pay for it, and then
Oh,
it was terrible. It was really buggy and all kinds of stuff. And then they did this battle royale thing and made it free for everyone. And I wanted to punch someone in the face. So,
Is that only because of the popularity of PUBG?
That actually did, I think, help a lot.
I
to
feel
its
like they're
popularity.
like the same thing, except Fortnite you can build like a barricade.
Yeah, you can build a sky bridge.
But essentially it's the same thing.
Fortnite. Yeah, but you can build a sky bridge.
Well,
Could
yeah.
someone shoot the bridge while you were
The
building it?
battle royale
yes,
mode
and then you
is-
fall to your death.
There you go.
It's not a good strategy,
go.
but it's a strategy I use.
That would be my job. If I played that game, I'd go, oh, what are you building? Sucks for you, huh?
Yeah, and then you just see the guy
Then I shoot him.
what class do you prefer?
in Fortnite.
Yeah.
I don't. I've only played Battle Royale.
I haven't played it at all, the battle royale, so I don't know what that
Okay,
is.
there's no classes in Battle Royale. It's like everyone's a soldier.
have you played PUBG?
Mm-mm.
No, never mind then.
Okay, so
King of the Kill on H1Z1?
It's 100 people
Battle
in a match,
Royale on
every man for
Rust?
himself.
Hunger Games on
Yeah.
Minecraft.
It's just every man for himself, 100 people kill him.
yeah, exactly. But you can also build kind of like
So
Minecraft.
it's like that Player Unknown Battlegrounds that just.
That's
is
PUBG.
testing
That's
out
what
the-
that is.
PUBG.
Oh, okay. Got it.
yeah, exactly.
Player
It's-
Unknown Battlegrounds.
You
Yeah.
can say the full title if you fucking
I know,
want.
but we were saying PUBG, but he actually knew what
Yep.
it was. He just didn't know the
Yeah,
acronym.
Knew what it was, just didn't know that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I haven't played it, but I have some. In fact, our engineer plays it.
Okay.
Oh,
the entire world. It's not even a game yet. It's
No,
not even
it's
an
still-
alpha.
Who
gives a
It's
fuck?
it's
so
1.0.
fun.
It's
Oh, yeah,
1.0.
it's
dropped
out
today.
Did they
now.
just give up and say, okay, too many people are actually playing it? I guess this will be it.
But see,
Yeah.
that's why I'm not full because I paid money for Fortnite, which was a beta,
Yeah.
and then this is what $30, and it's listed as a trial. A game
Well,
trial,
it's
and I'm like,
15
I'm not falling
I
for
think
that
it's
early
still-
again.
access.
I think
yeah.
it's still 15 on Steam.
It's 30.
It was very cheap a while ago.
Yeah,
I
it
guess
goes
they
on
raised
sale.
it.
It goes on sale sometimes, but it was $30 earlier this year, even when we all started
Oh,
playing.
Well, because the code you buy at like GameStop comes in a box, but it's just a code. It's not a
Oh
disc.
yeah, on the Xbox.
And
yeah.
it even says early access disc. So it's not even the game. Even if you have that game, that's not going to be the game. You still have to buy PUBG when it comes out.
No,
No, you get the
you
game.
Get it.
Not
Yeah,
with
you do.
this. Not from Xbox.
You do.
You're going to get the game.
Not
They're
what I'm
not going to
selling.
charge you twice. for it.
Not what I'm selling to people.
Yeah, but they're going to give you the game with that. They're not going to make people buy it twice.
Yeah, that'd be.
It's what
It's
you
going to be
think.
updated to the
It's what
full
you
game.
think.
What is
Yeah.
sad is it's performing very poorly on the Xbox right now.
That's especially weird.
When you say performing, do you mean sales wise
no,
or the actual
I
game
mean the actual
performance?
performance of the game itself. It's dropping to like 12, 15 frames per second.
100 people, though. You got to expect that.
Well, I mean, it. I
Well,
mean,
no, but it runs
it's-
really
it's-
well on like budget gaming PCs.
Yeah.
I mean,
But still, a budget
it
game
does have-
PC was what it was
it
built
has,
on. You
it
know?
has issue on the upper end of PC though for some reason.
That is funny.
Like
Yeah, Connor has a
Doesn't-
GTX
I
1080.
mean, PS3 had mag. I mean,
Huh?
and that
Right.
ran fine.
yeah, but
That's
Mag
true.
was a little weird on how it did it because it's like you're 100
162 players in mag.
right, but they allocated it to where you were kind of like bricked into being 20v20. It squatted you out. I remember it being very disappointed with Mag because it was like, yeah, you got the 100 and basically 100 versus 100, 80 versus 80, and then it was like, but in actuality, it's 4 different groups having little battles right here. You saw 20 other enemies, you didn't see the other
Yeah,
60.
that makes sense. I think with PUBG, it's tough because that map is huge.
It
And
is.
since it's active for every single person, it's not relying on, the player getting to a certain point to actually load that data.
Mhm.
It's always consistently there running in real time. And it's a huge map. Plus the sky, because it starts with a plane. Like,
right.
that's a giant world to maintain.
You would think though that because everybody is playing online and loading it themselves, that all they would have to render is
What
what
they
they see.
see, but
like
no, 'cause it
there
has
shouldn't
to-
be that much to render. Like I don't
There's a
understand
lot.
the problem.
There's a lot of detail in that game.
It's big. Yeah, it's very CPU heavy too. is the other
Every
thing. That's
building
what
you can
really
go in
messes
and out
things.
of. There's procedurally generated everything.
Well, it's not procedural, the map itself, but all the
But I mean, the
loot-
content in it.
The loot is, yeah.
Mhm. Everything you interact with, which already takes up a lot of storage, but having that procedurally generated is pretty tough, especially for 100 different people.
Yeah,
Anyway,
it's very fun.
All right. So I think now is as good a time as any. I think I'm the only one here without a top 5 Xbox games list.
That's not true. I didn't have an Xbox.
You don't have one either.
Right.
So
you
you-
have one.
Yeah,
You have
Yeah.
one.
It was actually kind of
Mike
difficult
has
for me
one.
to just like piece this together.
Bernard has one. All
There's-
right.
There's
cool.
probably 5 games that were on the Xbox that you played on PS2.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I'm not
Mine
a dirty
come from
cheater.
those two.
I'm not gonna think about those. Fuck that.
No,
Yeah, exactly.
Mine are also PC games. I think I played them on PC before Xbox.
I played like 3 games on the original Xbox.
Same.
My brother had one.
So you have a top 3. No.
I have a top 3.
Yeah, my number 1 is Virtua Tennis
Yeah.
2.
Why?
Yeah,
Spoiler
best
alert.
best
So
best tennis
who
game
are
NA.
we cracking open with?
Mike, he's
What?
the guest.
Who?
There we go.
All 5 at once, or
No.
No.
So it's like
Start with 5.
any honorable mentions if you have them, and then number 5, and then Brandon will do his number 5, Connor, and then we're gonna do a whole.
Do we want to say, like, if something pops up on someone else's list, mention it so we don't have to go over it again?
I think that was just the time-saving one when we were doing one
we'll
in
just
the
do it
last
normal.
hour.
Okay.
Yeah, we got like an hour and 40 minutes. So go ahead, man.
I don't have any honorable mentions, mainly because I was a PS2 guy
Mhm.
and got a Xbox after the fact. So there were a lot of games that did exist on Xbox, but I played them on PlayStation 2. So, but the ones that I did actually experience on the Xbox, my number 5 is Knights of the Old Republic.
Nice.
I
Good choice.
own that game on Steam. Haven't played it. Why? is
You've
that your
never
number
played it?
five? Yeah, I've heard it's great. Like I heard
You
it
played
did
Mass
what-
Effect, right?
Yeah, I heard it did what Mass Effect did before Mass Effect did.
It's
it.
made by the
BioWare.
same
Yeah,
people.
it's the
That
same
makes
people.
sense.
This is just a quick interruption. I'm getting notes that our volume is low.
Really?
Yeah, it's sometimes it happens on that end with the YouTube with the output towards YouTube. So it's hard to hear you guys. Is what one of the
Looking at those lights,
All right,
Andrew,
let me,
remember we were
uh,
talking about that.
Yeah, I know. Don't worry, we'll go ahead and fix it. But why? Was it the story,
Shall
gameplay,
we
all
all
the
just-
above?
Do we just speak louder?
Yeah, exactly.
Huh?
What was your number 5 again?
What was it?
KOTOR.
Who? What?
KOTOR.
Yeah, Knights of the Old Republic. Because well, number 1, it's a Star Wars game,
Yeah.
and I mean it did it. It kind of set the precedent for all of these role playing games that we have now that BioWare comes out with, where you had the merit system, the good bad kind of thing that was going on, and getting to be a Jedi and whoop ass with a lightsaber in a role playing setting was just amazing.
There you go.
100% agreed.
All right, so go ahead and Bernard, what's your number 5, dude? Honorable mentions if you have any first.
I got a shit ton of honorable mentions.
Damn.
Man, Bernard knows the system. He's on our show.
Well, no, this is the system I got me back into gaming. That's why. So I spent a lot of time playing it when I was selling video games. I bought a lot of them. So here's a couple that you guys might not know. Voodoo Vince. That's one of the funnest platforming games you can find. I mean, you run around and kill yourself to kill other enemies.
Huh.
Outlaw Goth is just hilarious.
Yep,
Yeah,
I know that one.
one's fun.
Fable's my honorable mention.
Oh wow, made it honorable, not on the list.
Yeah, Madden 05 was one of the best Madden games you could play.
I fucking love that one. And I was talking, I don't remember who I was talking to about it, but the reason I love it so much is that they have that system where there's like the radio, and every time you make changes or roster changes or sign people, there are fake callers like, yeah, I don't know if I really agree with this move. It doesn't fit.
You were
With
talking
what
to me
they're
about
doing.
that.
Okay.
That was me.
It had Tony Bruno, the actual sports talk radio host, to talk about things you were doing on your team.
Exactly. I loved it. And you can make like astronomical claims. You're like, yeah, I'm going to go 16-0 this year. And they'll call you a crackpot,
Yeah.
and an idiot, and all this other stuff. It's fantastic.
So Madden 05, and the last honorable mention is Enter the Matrix.
Oh, that was
no,
and you
it's
guys,
not.
you're talking about how crappy the game is, but there was before Enter the Matrix, we didn't have games and movies tie into each other, and you had things you didn't see on the Matrix when you played Enter the Matrix. So if you want more of the story, you could do that or watch the Animatrix stuff like that. It was really cool to actually see that we could have a bigger universe outside the theater.
I do want to say, before that, Star Wars did that a few times with the biggest one being Shadows of the Empire, based on a comic book.
What? Oh.
Came out, yeah. But
Okay,
anyway,
yeah, keep shitting on my point. I'm
yeah,
okay
you
with
know,
that.
Star Wars.
Yeah, yeah. And number 5 for me will be Jet Set Radio Future.
Nice.
That was an honorable mention for me coming up.
Because Jet Set Radio Future is still one of my favorite games to play to this day. I'm a big Jet Set Radio fan. The idea of skating around a park and just tagging everything, and the music alone is amazing. The music from those two games are living on to this day. So, yeah.
There we go. What is the differences between that one and the original Jet Set or Jet Grind Radio?
The original Jet Grind Radio is just hard to do the graffiti tags. You can still switch out graffiti tags you want, but on Jet Set Radio, Jet Set Radio Future, it's a whole bunch of tapping of buttons. Jet Grind Radio, you have to do input corrections in the controller, and you get points based on that. But it's a little easier, a lot quicker. I love Jet Set Radio Future, and waiting for it to be transported to Xbox One night right now. So backwards compatibility. Come on, make it
I was
happen.
about to say, is that a thing that they're doing?
They better be. It's great.
I don't understand why. Like, that's just something they should do. It's just Xbox One. Just like, here's all the original Xbox titles.
It's
if you want
easy.
to put in your discs or just download them, that's fine.
It's easy.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Like, that would make their what's it called? Xbox's version of PlayStation Now.
You know why they don't do stuff like that though?
Why is that?
Money.
Even if they charge like $10 for an old game to just download it, I'd do it.
Yeah, people do it
Because
with
there was
PS2
one
games.
on my list that I was looking for in the arcade that obviously does not exist, or else I'd be a happier person right now.
The PS4 does that with the games from PS2. Doesn't have all of them. It doesn't have Monster Hunter, so it's a pretty big disappointment. I didn't look beyond that, but I know they do it.
They didn't have my one title, so it sucks.
I mean, come on, Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter. The first Monster Hunter. I wasn't here for the PS2 list, but that's number 1. And 3 and 4 and 5. Probably not 2, because I can save that for Kingdom Hearts 2. But Monster Hunter is fucking dope. And I'm so excited for it to come back to the PlayStation system in general. The beta was awesome for World, by the way.
There's another one tomorrow.
So speaking of Xbox, what's your number 5, Brandon?
Oh!
We just reversed the spin?
Yeah.
My number 5
Fuck
is
it.
something that I'm playing right now on my PS4, but it's a different version of it. Battlefront 2.
Oh.
Yeah, it's really good. The original one.
Battlefront 2 original.
I mean, they're both phenomenal. The new one is really good. I love it a lot. And it's really just like a remake of the original Battlefront 2. They did a really good job with that.
So
But-
not looking past the DLC
It's really
fiasco,
good.
it's a good.
That DLC never happened. Like all that shit that okay, I can go on and on about
It was
that. That was
before, yeah.
well, no, but it was all
Pre-release.
it was like vaporware. It was all made up. Like most of it was not even true. Anyway, it's really good. But the original one obviously started that, and I played a lot of it, and I modded a lot of it. It's when I learned about modding,
nice.
when I started building my computers and could run it and making it faster, bringing it to school on a little flash drive with all my modded maps and playing with the 4 people in the back of the classroom. All senior year. It was dope.
Nice. I remember playing that a lot on PSP. The PSP.
It was. They had
port.
2 different versions of
Oh,
it.
It was so good.
They had to
That
split up
was-
the Imperial campaign and the Rebel campaign.
Yeah, but the multiplayer is just amazing.
Oh, yeah.
On that, like to be able to take it on the go, very
It's
good
perfect.
stuff. Con Man.
My number 5.
Well, and honorable mentions if you have any.
But they were peppered in there already. Like I mentioned, Jet Set Radio Future, and yeah, we'll just. And I mentioned KOTOR earlier. That was an honorable mention for me. It didn't make the list.
Oh.
Just because. Yeah, there was other games that I just had to throw in there. So number 5 is the first Mercenaries game.
Wow.
Yeah, it was super
I didn't
fun.
realize I was that old.
Yeah, the original Mercenaries. It was 2005, I believe, is when it came out.
Was
Oh,
that
okay, so it's the
also
tail end.
LucasArts?
Mercenary? No.
Okay.
Mercenaries. It's
I'll look
everyone
it up.
knows Mercenaries for Mercenaries 2 theme song.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. But Mercenaries 1, it was my first experience with a shooter. I mean, it's a third-person shooter, but
Oh, but look at that. It is LucasArts.
oh, there you go. Yeah, it is.
Get out of town.
Good. I couldn't remember if it was or not. But the cool thing about it is it was one of those first games that I played where it was a shooter that was silly. It didn't take itself too serious, and it's really cool because you have all those different guns. You have explosions of galore, and then you had the like execution moves and stuff, and it was really fun. It's probably not healthy for a young boy to see, but it was very, very fun.
You know, I really,
Tire pressure gauge. Yeah,
I really wish that shooters nowadays weren't as serious
weren't
as
serious.
they are.
Yeah.
Like I think
More
that's
Bulletstorm.
yeah, exactly. I think that's honestly
Borderlands
one
was
of
also a thing.
Yeah, Borderlands.
the, yeah. I think why Bulletstorm is probably my favorite shooter.
Destiny's pretty silly now.
Is it?
They took out all the seriousness of it.
Oh, really?
It's so good. I love it.
Huh.
Anyway. Yeah, you're a ghost when they changed the voice from Peter Dinklage to whatever his name is now.
Oh, that's what you mean.
Nolan
Yeah, there was a
North.
lot of
Yeah.
comedy in the second one.
The
It
second
it
one
seemed
has
like they
a
were
lot.
trying to be Borderlands.
Yeah, but the second one kind of was able to poke fun at things in a really good way because it was, writing off the first game. So by the time they got to the second, they had a whole bunch of inside jokes
Yeah.
and just other stuff that really made it not serious anymore.
Did anyone else play Mercenaries?
I don't remember it at all, but I did on PS2.
Bernard did. Look at that. He's got the hand up. It was super fun. What do you think about it, Bernard? That's it.
The fact that when I tried to steal a tank and a helicopter came and picked me up and I got to shoot the helicopter out the sky and stay in the tank, it's a winner.
Yeah,
It's a
right?
winner.
It's so fun. Like doing shit like that. Like, I'm gonna shoot a helicopter out of the sky now.
Is Mercenaries Michael Bay the game?
Yeah, basically.
Not Just Cause?
Yeah, it really it happened before Just
I
Cause,
know.
So.
I know.
Yeah, it very much is so Michael Bay the game, and it's very fun. And I recommend at least playing the second one. I mean, it's a bit more updated, so totally good game. Very much, totally play it. It's on other systems, so go for it.
All right, sounds like a plan. So, if we're talking about Michael Bay the game, it's The Rock by Michael Bay,
It's a
And
good
then-
movie.
and then Just Cause is like Transformers.
No.
Sure.
All right,
It's more silly than The Rock, though. The Rock isn't that silly.
Just Cause is pretty silly.
All right,
All right.
all right, Mike.
Yeah, well, what, me?
Yeah,
Number
you, buddy.
4. Numero 4.
Number 4 on the countdown, Halo Combat Evolved.
Yep. Yeah,
The
buddy.
original.
I don't like Halo.
I guess that
No.
one could
I
be
mean,
a.
there's no accounting for taste,
But you're wrong.
But it's a fantastic game.
it is.
It's
yeah.
a standard of all modern shooters.
It
I mean-
revolutionized the
No, it
genre.
absolutely
It
is.
is.
Yeah.
It wasn't a joke, but it sounded funny.
And it was that that's from a time before all like this online gaming, and you would have LAN parties. I mean, there's
I miss
nothing like
those
having
days.
3 Xboxes
kinda
connected up in
wasn't
2 different
before.
rooms and just cursing at your friends
was
in the
the
other
best.
room, and like so much fun.
Nothing
And it
like it.
created Red versus Blue, which
Yeah.
is one of my favorite.
System
Well,
Link
that came
was
from
such a cool
number
concept.
2, but
They started with 1.
Oh, did
Yeah,
they?
Went
yeah.
into 2, yeah.
They had to like fuck with the game to get the camera free.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
on the first one. Yeah, it was a big deal. And oh man, I've put so many hours in the first one. Like,
It's wonderful.
yeah, it's such a good game. But
Yeah, I fully realize that my opinion isn't the popular one. I've never
No.
been a fan of the Halo series.
I'm very surprised about it
Weird.
because it's very
Star Wars
It's pretty casual.
It's very
a
linear.
very easy to get
It's-
into shooter. Like,
It's linear. The story is awesome. The aesthetic's awesome. The gameplay is great. You don't have to play multiplayer even.
yeah, and it's also more about the gunplay instead of twitch reflexes. Like when you play Call of Duty, it's like if you don't have those twitch reflexes down, you're just gonna get skull fucked
Yeah.
and be
Yeah.
pissed off at
Because there's no aim down the sight, so it made
Yeah.
it more feel like Doom,
Where it's
except without
like-
it in the middle.
Yeah, and when you're playing Halo, you don't have to be the first person to see the guy. It's like you could start shooting, and then he could turn around and outmaneuver you and get you. Like that was what made Halo really solid. And then the vehicles added in, and
It's that extended time to kill.
But
And it's
definitely,
kind of a-
the AI was really a big thing with that too.
the AI was fantastic. Yeah, in the story mode, and then there's also the fact that it's an arena style, but not at the same time, where it's weapon pickup, so you have to do the timing. So
No, that is my favorite part about it is the fact that they have the arena style pickup weapon. Like I wish that would just be a standard
yeah,
in
like,
shooters. And that's actually part of the reason why I think I like Fortnite.
oh okay. Have you
That-
tried playing Quake, the new one?
I have not
good.
tried playing Quake, the new one,
good.
but I played. There was like the free Quake that we played,
Oh, Quake Live.
Quake Live. I
Yeah.
played that quite a bit. I like Unreal a little bit better than Quake.
Interesting.
That's funny. It's made on the
So-
Unreal Engine.
No,
No, Quake is made on the Unreal
No,
Engine.
Quake,
That's why it's
Oh.
funny.
Quake is made on id Tech.
The new one?
Yeah.
Champions?
Yep.
It looks like it's straight out of the Unreal Engine 4.
No, yeah, it's straight up id Tech and something.
I mean, that
else.
makes more
I
sense
see
for
what you-
sure.
I see
but
what you mean though. The rendering and everything.
It
It,
looks
looks like it's
identical.
an
it
Unreal
has
game.
it has a very unreal look to it. I do agree.
Ha.
But-
After playing with the Unreal Engine myself, I'm like, this looks like just stock features.
Yeah, Unreal
Halo,
beautiful
man.
out of
It
the
is.
box.
I love it.
Halo.
It's good stuff.
Best thing that ever came out of Halo is the James at War parody. Blame Halo 3.
Not Destiny? I'm just kidding.
I mean, oh, Bungie.
I like Destiny a lot.
This thing's fun as fuck.
Yeah,
Yeah, see? That's all that matters.
I could never get into it. Like I remember, I think it was your birthday party like 2 or 3 years ago,
Oh, we had
and
a-
everyone's
yeah.
like, "Yeah, let's all play Halo." And
We
I'm
had a
like,
fucking split screen LAN party.
"All right."
Oh, was there 5 people there?
No, there was like fucking 16
Oh,
people
okay.
there.
Well,
We
it'd been
had
funny
two
if we were just the one on
Xboxes
there.
too, and we had
Oh.
like other people playing in the other room and everything. Yeah.
That's
It
dope.
was
So
dope as
fun.
shit. It
Sounds
was
like
super
fun.
fun.
I would just
Yeah, Miguel and I ended up
not.
being the last ones, and
Sandra
we had
being
fucking
fun.
1v1s going on.
I don't remember who won.
I don't remember either. I think we ended up drawing out because it ended up being that we were both like you ended up beating me on Halo 4.
Yeah, it
And
was.
then
Yeah, we,
I
did, we
beat
were
the-
doing
I
all the games, and
whooped
it's
the
like
shit out
the
of you on
older
2,
Halos. I suck
and
ass
2
at.
and 1, I whooped your fucking ass, and then 3, I think we had a pretty good like back and forth.
That
so
one
we,
was fun.
we kept playing that one.
Yeah.
So.
I
I
think,
mean,
I
you're-
think we ended up just playing Halo for fun at
Yeah.
that point.
Yeah.
Anyway,
You guys were talking about like silly like games or shooters being more fun and less serious, and I thought Halo was a nice balance because
Right,
even in
it
the
has the
campaign,
jokes.
you have the aliens who are a little bit silly, and you have your
Mhm.
more serious sounds. And when the flood comes in, that's like turns into almost like a horror game at that point.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it had a little bit of something for everyone, I felt. And especially if you added in the I Would Have Been Your Daddy's skull.
oh,
It added even more funny comedy.
all the
into game.
dialogues. Yeah,
Yeah. This is a great
the
game.
full line of that is fucked up.
Yeah,
I
would
would
have been your daddy.
but the dog beat me to it.
Yeah. I think
Terrible.
one interesting thing that I've always thought was a little weird about Halo is you could be good at Halo and not any other shooter, specifically because the reticle is not in the center of the screen. It's like
Oh,
just
yeah.
shifted downward. And it like if you're totally trying to play another game competitively, but you've been playing Halo for like 2 weeks, you're just gonna suck
Yeah,
for
it
like a
will
good
fuck
day
you
or
up.
two.
I can objectively see that it's a good game. I just don't enjoy it. Like it's one of those games where I'm playing it, I'm just not having a good time.
Right.
Mhm.
I don't understand. Like I don't have any other way how to explain it. So your number 4 pick sucks, Mike.
Damn.
I'm just,
All right.
thank you.
Bernard.
and I'm fired.
Bernard's on 4.
Halo 2.
There you
Good
go.
choice.
Halo
Good
2.
choice.
So-
It's even
so
better.
when you
Twice
give
the
me-
fun.
When you guys give me the whole examples of when you got the LAN party and stuff, Halo 2 made it where you didn't have to LAN
You had
party.
the online
You had
game.
online.
Yeah.
And online was the best damn thing ever going for it.
And it was,
Aw,
it was
yeah.
like fucking
I don't
super
know.
dope to do back
You know,
then.
that was the first time I ever had a 12-year-old tell me my mama's pussy tastes like a whole bunch of different things.
Wow.
The beginning of
I
the
have
end.
never had so much fun making kids cry. I really haven't.
Dude, Halo 2, there's a funny story that me and my buddies have. It's, my buddy Brett, we played Halo 2 at his birthday party. It was him and several, like his brother, some other friends. And we played it for like 3 straight days, just us. We had 2 consoles system linked, and we were just fucking going down on Halo 2. And I remember there being like a fucking
That was
pack
some
of
wording.
Red Bull involved and like a lot of espresso and
Some cocaine.
we just didn't sleep for like 3 days and just played. So, and I just remember
That's
it
the
being
cocaine.
Sunday, like because we started Friday and it was like Sunday afternoon, and some of them already passed out, and me and Brett are still playing, and we're like the last of it, you know. And then I look over and I'm like, "All right, I'm fucking tired, dude." And he's like, "Yeah," and we just passed out just to the menu music playing, and it was such a good like fun time where we just like I don't think I've ever had that experience of just playing one game every waking, like not sleeping, not even every waking moment, just literally not sleeping for 3 days and just going fucking hard on that.
Dope ass game.
It's dope.
So you would laugh at me, but me and my friend Ryan did that with Dynasty Warriors 3.
Oh my
God, I hate
God.
Dynasty Warriors.
How the fuck?
It's so good
It's
How did you
not.
stay awake at all?
because I enjoy it.
I get bored of Dynasty Warriors after
He loves
like
Chinese
an hour.
history. It's okay.
It's
Yeah.
it's
It's all
the
about the history
premier
of the-
Chinese mass murder simulator.
The only thing close to Dynasty Warriors I can play for a long extended period of time is Berserk Band of the Hawk because I love Berserk, not because of the gameplay.
It's just one of those things. Like everyone, different strokes, for different folks. You guys like Halo. I like Dynasty Warriors.
You have the
It's
weirdest
fine.
strokes,
we like Halo.
man.
You like bad games.
Wow, that's a good way to put it. Anyway.
I'm just messing with you.
Y'all are dicks. Every
Yeah.
single one of you.
Yeah.
Dick.
Dick.
It is my middle name.
Got him.
One of them.
One of them.
Richard.
Richard.
No, that's his second middle name.
Oh yeah.
Richard Dick.
Dick Richards.
So you're gonna be Dick Dick.
Michael Richard Dick Penis.
Johnson.
Yeah. This is still middle names.
Yeah.
Anyway, is it my number 2 yet?
It's your number 4.
Number 4.
Yeah, number
He got confused
2
with
plus
Halo
2.
2.
2 plus 2.
Yeah.
Knights of the Old Republic.
What?
Yeah.
Wait.
Star Wars. Knights of the Old
KOTOR.
Republic.
Who had KOTOR?
Someone
that
else.
that was an honorable mention.
That's
That
what it
was
was.
my number 5.
It was Mike's number
and it was
5.
his number
there we
5.
go.
But it's my
Okay.
number 4 because I had a really hard time putting it above my top 3.
Mhm.
but I played a fuck ton of it. And as I don't know, I think I love it for different reasons than a lot of people, because it's a good RPG and that's cool and all. But I grew up with Star Wars with the comic books, so it's like the movies have always been
old ass comic books.
none of the movies to me are like, they're Star Wars, so it's awesome. But as films, they're not very good, any of them, except Rogue One. But I know, but Star Wars for me is the comic books, the games, everything that just makes Star Wars incredible. So
This may not be something for the show. Connor is under the impression that Rogue One is a shit film.
all right, we won't talk about that right now.
Another day.
Okay.
But
I just had to let
If
you know.
That's why I said.
Hold
damn,
on.
and I
Time out.
winced.
Time out. If at the end of the list, if we have a decent amount of time left,
I
it'll
also
be Rogue
played-
One time.
I also played those Switch games too. If we want to talk about those.
Okay.
later.
Oh, there we
Okay,
go.
we
Anyway,
probably should. All right.
so I loved this because I already knew the story, and I was very excited to be a part of that world because I had already read the books and comics from 5,000 years before, so I got to read what was leading up to it, and then play this and go, "Oh fuck, this is the greatest thing ever." So it was dope as shit.
I guess I
Dope
should
as
ask,
shit.
and either one of you two can answer since it was on both of your lists. Is it one of those games that does it age well? Like if I
Yes.
go back and play it now, will I still have a good time
Yes.
with it?
You can actually
Absolutely.
play it on mobile now. and
You
it's
can. They
not
put it on
bad.
mobile devices for $15, $14.
I already own it on Steam, so
Oh.
it's
Either way, it held
Yeah,
up very
it's
well
very much a good game to keep
because
going
it's
back
not
to.
because it's not a real time RPG action fighter. So it's like it's still kind of point and click. It pauses right when the action starts, and you pick like the order of actions that are going to happen. So it's like an action turn-based game. It's
And
really
you
really
enjoyed,
well done.
You enjoyed Mass Effect as well, and it's
Yeah,
it's
I
kind of
really-
proto
Mass Effect's
Mass
more real time, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's what led it. Like Mass Effect was their next
Story-wise.
game.
Yeah, story wise and like how it progresses is very
Exactly.
Yeah,
similar.
I actually think I like almost all of BioWare's games that I've played. I really like the Mass Effect series. I like Dragon
Good.
Age.
Yeah, perfect. You'll love Knights of the Old Republic. The second one is unfinished.
So
It's
it-
good until the end.
Is it closer? Is KOTOR closer to like Dragon Age 1?
Yeah. It's closer to Dragon Age because of the way the combat works.
Yeah.
Okay, but it still has that kind of branching story, but more involved.
It's like if you take Mass Effect but the combat of Dragon Age.
I think what's
Okay.
funny, just going off of what we're talking about KOTOR, is I was in 6th grade when everyone was playing that. I just remember everyone was like, "You can be a lesbian. You can make ladies do things to each
No,
other."
okay, but there is a big problem with this game too. The first time I played it, I was fucked over because you can only there's a level cap, right?
Right.
So you sit there and grind and level up. You're like, whatever, cool. I'm gonna grind. I'm gonna be a high level. You become a Jedi towards the end of the game, where you level up as a Jedi on top of your previous level. So you like the first time I played it, I was like a level 2 Jedi because I maxed out everything else up until that point. I was like, you could be fucking kidding me. So it means I couldn't use any of the skill points for any of the Jedi moves because I was under the impression that I was just going to be this level Jedi. Nope. I'm a level like 28 soldier, level 2 Jedi. Like, fuck you. Learned my lesson real quick though.
Nice.
Cheat
All right.
codes.
You
All
have
right,
trouble?
Connor, what is your number 4?
Splinter Cell Chaos Theory.
Nice.
Fucking love that game. That was the game where, Splinter Cell at first, it was a little rocky. It had a bit of technicalities that made it hard to play at points. Chaos Theory really smoothed all that out and brought it to being just that solid, like, spy action game. And then it had the multiplayer in it as well, which
Was that before or after? What was it? Double Ops?
Double Ops. I can't remember when that Double Ops
Let me look
happened.
it up.
Tom
But
Clancy needs to stop with his games.
yeah, right. There's a
Too
lot of Tom
freaking
Clancy
many.
games. But Splinter Cell.
I mean, he's dead,
Chaos
so
Theory.
you can't blame him.
His name is making too many games.
He wrote books. He actually didn't make any
That's
games.
true.
Yeah, but Chaos Theory was super good. It brought the misadventures of Bob and Steve on G4.
Oh, I thought that was Double Ops. That.
It's
well,
Double Agent, by the way.
Double Agent.
Double Agent, that's what it was.
That's Double Agent is way later.
Yeah, Double Agent didn't come out till 06, and that's on
Oh, okay.
360.
Yeah,
Ah, my bad.
I-
there was one though that has both of them on there. Like,
Yeah,
but Chaos Theory was the one that had 2 players. I believe it introduced it.
Oh, okay.
Pretty sure.
I could never look at those games without being like, yeah, but Metal Gear.
But Metal Gear. See, that's the thing is, this like I always loved the Metal Gear series, but Metal Gear is more fantasy, like not dragon fantasy, obviously, but more like
Science
sci-fi fantasy. Yeah.
Sure.
And it's not even science fiction; it's like it's
Science fantasy. It's a
Yeah.
real thing.
And whereas Splinter Cell is very much real, like
Yeah, I hear you, but here's my counter argument: Metal Gear.
Metal Gear.
Metal Gear.
I mean, that's always going to be the
fight
right
giant robots.
answer no matter what. You know that too.
No, I like the Metal Gear series more than I like Splinter Cell.
Anybody
But-
with
As
a
long
brain
as you can
would.
admit that, that's
Yes.
fine. Then
Connor,
that
your
could be your
chip.
number 4. Oh no, your poor chip.
Speaking of your chip, you might
He's-
wanna-
it's
now that your number
almost-
4 is done, you might
Number
want to get that set
3.
up.
I'm just gonna eat it at number 1. Yeah.
Number 1.
Like,
Oh,
I'll like before number 1, and I'll just talk about why I love that game so much.
Sweet.
All right, perfect. Great explanation about Splinter Cell. This is number 4, but it's not better than Metal Gear. All right, Mike, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is actually Bernard's number 4. And that is Halo 2.
Wow.
Because it took everything that Halo did and made it better,
So you
including the
did-
ability to double wield as the Master Chief.
That's why they call it Halo 2.
yeah. It's actually it's the first
Double the
DLC.
teabags.
The first DLC is just called Halo 2 because you can have 2 guns. That's it.
2 guns.
Double the Lipton.
And then in Halo 3, you got a chest hand. You have 3 guns.
You were able to shoot with your penis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice with your
Shoot with my
Richard
fun
Johnson.
gun. Yeah. This one's for shooting, this one's for fun. You
Is
just
that what
shoot with a
happened
bow.
to Cortana?
What?
Sorry.
Sucked inside his,
Yeah.
his gun?
Yeah, exactly.
Good save.
Fucking no. So Halo 2, good game apparently.
It's super good.
It's great, Andrew. You should probably
Is
play
it,
it.
I've played them all.
I actually didn't play Halo 2 until the Master Chief Collection.
I
Personally.
haven't played that
You
version,
wanna
but I
know
really want
something
to.
funny about Halo 2 is I didn't know this because I have the Master Chief Collection. I was looking at my achievements the other day, and it was like rarest achievement. It showed me one that was on Halo, the Master Chief Collection, and it was like beat Halo 2 Legendary in under 3 hours. And I was like, when did I do that?
Wow.
I did that apparently.
That's how much Halo 2 you played.
Yeah.
That was that time you were up 3 days straight.
Yeah, right. Like it was. I was just so surprised because it just happened the other day, and it was like because it was like rarest achievement, and it was like 0.04% of players have gotten this, and then I was like,
Wow.
when the fuck did I do that? I did that by accident.
See, I love that because if you go on my profile and it's just like rarest achievement, it's completing. So getting like whatever the equivalent of a platinum trophy on Xbox is for Nicktoons MLB
Fuck, dude.
because I completed that.
That's funny.
Jeez.
I'm so into baseball games. It was on sale one day for 99 cents. I'm like, all right, I could do this. I could play baseball with Mr. Toastman and SpongeBob, and it was the best 99 cents I've ever spent in my entire life.
I only have 2 platinum trophies, and I'm proud to keep them as those 2.
What are those?
Bloodborne and Final Fantasy 15,
That makes sense.
because I love both of those games a lot.
Nice.
Excuse me.
And I just want to keep it that way.
Fucking Halo 2. All right,
Mhm.
Bernard, what's your number 3?
Halo. No, kidding.
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm not.
Halo Wars.
I like Halo Wars.
That was
Shut up, you don't like Halo.
Halo Wars is
That's 360. Yeah.
Mhm.
My number 3 is Def Jam Fight for New York.
Nice.
Oh, that game is so fucking
I
good,
forgot about that game.
man.
I like Vendetta a bit more, but
New York.
No, you
Nah,
don't.
man. New York's
No,
good.
Okay.
You think you do, but
you think you do? Yeah.
No, Def Jam Fight for New York was just the best combination of hip hop and fighting done well.
Yeah.
I mean, the mechanics on the one-on-one mechanics for playing the game was just amazing. The counterattack system was great, and then you had everybody talk shit to you every round. It was amazing. It's a fun
Yeah.
game.
Some of my favorite lines growing up as a 12-year-old boy, I shouldn't have been playing that game, but it was the best because after that, I walk up to my best friend and be like, "I'm gonna rip out your tongue and lick my ass with it."
Somebody likes Redman.
Yeah, I do. Good job, man.
Oh, did they do a lot of the Wu-Tang intros in that?
Yeah, let me see if I can find that one for you.
Like, I'm gonna sew your asshole
Yeah,
shut
man, and
and start
as-
feeding you and feeding you.
See, as someone who wasn't into hip hop growing up and trying to look up hip hop, like my lame way of doing it, I took my Def Jam box, looked at the back, and I'm like, "Who's in this game? Let me look up their music."
Nice. I kind of want to do that with old punk music with the Tony Hawk games.
Yeah, it's the same thing. That game's fantastic though. The story's great. Being able to customize your homie. It's
Yeah,
great.
and the customization means the crowd gets behind you and things like that.
Exactly.
It was a fun game all around. I love playing it. I'm waiting for this to become backwards compatible too, because this is one of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah, I was hearing that for Def Jam Fight for New York that they were considering John Cena to be in the game because back then he actually had his own rap album out.
Really?
Yeah, but they wanted to put WWE branding all over it.
I'm gonna take your tongue out and lick my ass with it.
Nice.
Game day, punk, and you about to take one for the team.
Man, and when you won with him, he's like, I'm going to rip out your eyes and put them on my knees and call you Kneesies.
Wait, let me see if I can get that for you.
It's those intros are this. Thank you so much, Bernard.
Yeah, he's right now punching the guy in the balls and then run to the kicking ball thing.
Yeah, Redman. Unlike all the other fighters in the game, when he would use his finisher.
I beat blood out that fool.
Okay, no, he would just kick him in the balls repeatedly, like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
He lifts you up, punching the balls 4 times, then kick you in the balls.
Sounds like Redman.
Yep. Redman's awesome.
I very much approve of your number 3. It's so much better of a game than other people's number 3s. Like,
I'm happy I don't live for your approval.
You only heard 2 number 3s.
I guess that's fair, Brandon.
It's Halo 2.
You serious?
Yeah. I looked down. I'm like, oh.
You can't fucking win.
I'm not going
Andrew.
to say
Hold
anything.
the fuck up.
Halo 2. It's not number 1 or 2.
That makes me feel a little better.
I'm just going to keep this soundtrack on for the rest of the show, okay? The Halo soundtrack, it seems to be hitting
That's a good one.
every
We're running out of Halo.
We're out of Halos now. We're done. We all hit 1 and 2. We're done.
Full disclosure, my 2 and 1 are both just Halo.
Boom. And there was only 2 Halo games.
Yeah, if I can't have
We're all
Halo
good.
for all 5, this was going to happen.
It's a big deal, Andrew. It
It's
did a
just-
lot for the video game industry.
It really did.
And it held
like-
up pretty well.
Best
It's
thing to ever,
Halo, 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 and Halo.
Halo 2.
best thing to ever come out of Duke Nukem Forever. You go in there and he's in
Halo.
the back.
Dylon,
And he
Dylon.
opens up the trunk and he's like, "Here's your power armor." And he looks at it, and power armor's for pussies. Best thing to ever come out of.
Thank you,
Duke Nukem
Miguel, for
Forever.
getting the joke.
I didn't get it, but that's fine.
It's all good.
So Halo 2,
Yeah.
perfect. Connor, what's your number
Yes,
3?
we've discussed it plenty.
Fable.
Okay.
Yep.
Fucking love Fable. That, oh my god, dude. Like,
A lot
that,
of people love it.
That was, and it's, how did they get worse? Like,
Because the creator's a douchebag.
Peter Molyneux.
Yeah, he's a douche.
Fable 2 is pretty good. Fable,
Fable
3
2,
is
Fable
shit.
2, Fable 2 is pretty good, but it wasn't as good as number 1 in
No,
my
no,
opinion.
1's beautiful.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how did it get like Halo progressively just got better and like
Until Reach.
arguably
Until-
until
whoa.
yeah, you know, like you
Reaches
could,
the peak, and
Yeah,
then it falls
after
off.
Reach.
you
Until
can argue,
4.
you know, you
Yeah.
can argue that it's worse. Some people like 4 more, you know, it's debatable. But like I think anyone who played the Fable series was like, okay, 2 wasn't as good as 1, and then 3 was just shit. Like
3 was awful.
3 got me right when you want to say, you have to make friends with everybody. Fuck that.
fuck that, yeah.
Why,
I don't
why
wanna
do I
that.
care about that in Halo?
I
mean,
want to.
Fable.
I'm evil right now. Why should I be friends with
Yeah,
everyone?
here, make sure they want to vote for you. Fuck that noise. We can't kill people.
Yeah, like they just shoehorned like all these ideas in you. Whereas in Fable 1, it was like, do whatever you like, dude. That's your fucking business. And then in 2, they were like, do pretty much everything you want to do and what you like to do. And then in 3, they were like, don't do anything you want to do. Let's do this. It was weird. Like I don't like they limited your possibilities. Whereas in Fable 1, it was wonderful. Like and especially the progression of being evil and good. Like you actually got like winged
Visual
halo. Yeah,
transformation.
it was like and fire steps behind you when you're a demon. And then they got rid of that in 2, and I was really bummed out. I was like, oh, I don't have the flaming footsteps anymore. Like I'm not necrotic and destroying the land. You know, stuff isn't dying around me. So I'm glad they actually remade Fable and with that whole awesome edition.
Definitely.
I just want to point out, I just got a text message from my mother after hearing about me playing Def Jam, and she says, "Man, your mom let you play that shit."
Well, that's fun.
That's funny.
Yeah, Fable, good shit. Number 3.
Hey. I'm surprised my number 2 has not reached anybody's list yet.
Maybe it's high on everyone's
Speaking
list.
of Reach, Halo Reach is number. Sorry,
It's the best
Let's
Halo
do-
game. You're right.
So we've got
It sure
We've
is.
got about 5 minutes till break time. We can probably
Yeah, let's hold off on 2 and 1 until we get to.
Yeah,
if we
we'll
wanna.
hold off until the last few. Until next.
Which-
Until then, if anyone wants to call in, you can call in at 909-360-8330.
I think
Ask Mike a
Connor
question.
really wants to see this chip.
This is second half stuff. I'm just kind of
I
highlighting.
know,
it,
but
you
he's
know.
like
That's a-
I really do.
super
I've been,
stoked.
I like so when I saw that the bags in 7-Eleven were offering this thing, I was like, oh, whoa, I can actually get that because it's always sold out.
Are you
like,
bummed that it's only 1 chip?
No, because it's I've seen people like the LA Beast holds the world record for eating like was it ghost
2?
peppers or Carolina Reapers that he ate like a whole tub of? I think
Ah,
it was ghost peppers.
It had to be Ghost
I
Peppers.
think
He
it
would
was.
be dead if
Yeah,
it was the other
because
one.
he ate like a whole thing of them, and then he's eaten Carolina Reapers as
Ah.
well.
Mhm.
But even he like when he ate one of these, he was already starting to like sweat and go.
Oh, I'm so
snotty,
excited.
And then he
Like,
went to
did he
2.
4?
You don't even
he went
have
to
like
4.
a napkin or anything. You're just gonna just
Oh yeah, you're gonna
make this place
dribble.
disgusting.
We should probably get some napkins. While
Well, we'll
we're
do that on the break. Yeah.
On break, we'll get some napkins. I should probably. I'm gonna steal that last beer. Probably. I'm gonna end up drinking the rest.
I don't know
of
if that's
this
the best
one
thing to
and-
watch
Oh,
Reaper down.
it's fine.
All right.
It's fine.
Do your thing, man.
It's
All right.
fine.
It's
Everything's
not my
fine.
mouth.
But, yeah, I'll probably want to grab like 5 water bottles now.
Some
Out
milk.
of tea.
Yes,
Some milk. Milk leaves a pasty feeling in your mouth.
I
when
don't
you're
like it.
When you're drooling after heat, you're like.
I don't know why people think milk is a good counter.
It does calm it.
But
if
why would you
hold it-
want to?
If you hold in your mouth, but if
The
you start
point is
drinking it,
the spice, like just let it linger. Like,
That's
the
point.
fun.
That's not fun
it is
at all.
fun.
You guys are crazy.
Letting it linger
You
is
guys
fun.
suck.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a limit though. I mean, that's just you're fucking stupid.
I'm excited because another thing too is there's a YouTuber, there's this like kid who
You
eats all
talking to him
this
right
hot
now?
stuff.
You're
No,
like,
no, no.
dude, I'm gonna eat this.
Oh, no, he eats this hot stuff, and I got this stuff called Satan's blood. It's 800,000 Scovilles.
Satan's butt.
And he was eating it
Blood.
like he was fucking like taking him like, yeah, it's hot, damn, it's good.
I had one called Brain Damage, and that was one of
He-
my favorite hot sauces.
He ate one of
Brain
these
Damage.
though, and he was done. Like they were trying to go through 10, and he ate one of these, and then they were on the second one. And he couldn't finish the second one. He's like, "That's too hot."
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm excited now. The fact that he had a problem with this, like people who have really high heat tolerances.
I
this fucking
love
gets them,
seeing
so.
people not being able to handle heat. For some
The
reason,
only
it's so
person I've ever
nice.
seen eat one of those is WWE superstar Daniel Bryan.
Oh,
He's
was
like,
it?
He didn't like he was just like, yeah, it's warm.
It's warm.
It wasn't
Wow.
Then he
WWE
meet-
superstar Leonardo as
Finn Balor.
I have
Balor?
I had Carolina Reaper jerky before, and it wasn't too bad. So I was actually
meat's
surprised.
good.
But I've had more heat when you progressively just eat a hot food, like a whole dish of it.
Indian
That-
food,
Yeah, Indian food. or like
Yes.
extremely spicy Japanese curry.
or that, or what was the other one? Thai food.
Yeah, Thai food. I've had 7 Pots chili. That one's pretty hot.
I've never heard of it.
I forgot what the.
I think
Scoville
Andrew
on
wants to
it.
say something.
No, I'm good.
What's the check out the Google the Scoville on 7 Pots chili real quick?
Sure, go. You guys keep talking about food. Keep making me hungry.
I'm so hungry.
Spicy food is
I think we're
the
talking about
best food.
miserable food that will
I don't even. What'd you just tell me to Google?
7 Pots chili. It's it's in that arid region where they always use it.
the arid region.
What is the Scoville on that?
Says that it is
1 million?
Yep.
Yep, 1 million. I've
Okay.
had that. I
But
mean,
that is,
that's
you said
half of this.
20.
this is 2 million. 2.2, yeah.
Oh, never mind. I thought you said
It's
20
one
million.
bajillion.
2.2 is the Carolina
The
Reaper.
like hottest
so-
thing they have is an extract that's like 9 million or something.
Yeah,
Fuck.
that's plutonium 9.
Plutonium.
They
It's
call
straight
it
up
that.
radioactive.
No, they call it that. It's plutonium number 9. It's
And you
9
turn into a
million-
super mutant
9
after eating
million
it.
Scoville. It's an extract.
Yeah, you become the human
There
There
torch.
is
their
hotter.
life.
You become God or
There
dog.
is a 12 million.
This guy.
Oh, there is?
Yeah, it's made by Blair, who makes the Megadeth
Oh, okay.
sauce,
Nice.
and it's so concentrated Scoville that they're crystals.
That's
Solid
beautiful.
crystals.
Like
So.
the difference is, Mike, is like when you go to the 7-Eleven or a thing and you see that and you're just like, dumbass. Like, whoever eats that and Connor's like, he just sees it and he goes, he
I'm like,
perks up.
oh,
and he's
I
like,
need
oh,
Give me those bags.
Well, it's just I like food, and I'd like to be able to taste it indefinitely.
Right?
Before
Totally
we go on
understandable.
break,
That's
when
why I started
had-
liking hot food because my tongue started going numb. So I started needing hotter and hotter food.
When I had the jerky of this stuff, every other spicy food was not spicy more. Like I ate Cheetos, and they tasted like cornmeal. You know, like normal things that are like actually hot for me. It was like I don't taste them anymore. And there's no spice left. It just killed my taste buds on heat for
God.
like 3-4 months.
All right. Well, in the second half, we're gonna hear/watch Connor burn his butt off.
So
and
excited.
but for right now, we're gonna take a quick few-minute break, and we will be back after these messages. What do I know?
Do we need messages since we're not on this? What's it called?
We're not we're not actually live on the app. So
I don't
Well-
think they can hear the.
Yeah. So
Oh.
so it's whatever. It's
so here's what we're gonna do.
I'm
I'm
gonna-
gonna play music, and you guys do what you want to do.
All right. Yeah. Just play some more of that fucking Halo soundtrack.
You don't tell me what to do.
don't be a boss.
Yeah. Welcome. This is MC Sharper Image.
I'm standing here with my dog technology. We are here to uplift your minds and upgrade your systems. So come on down, everyone that wants to get some. Plug in and boot. And boot. Yo, I couldn't give a rat's ass. I come to eat grub and flap ass and show my whole entire black ass. Y'all know the singing, he who laugh loudest. Bang the loudest, can a coward do a thing about it? What the bumba? Clock mommy like I number. Here's my name and number, let's la rumba. Doc, it makes me wonder, how many heads have the hunter? How many different conclusions to come to? And my 16 bar map hitting too hard with a total disregard for your whole entourage. Rap for nom, slap your ass, snap your thong to my theme song and hope you don't get clapped the palm. Who that kid? As dirty as that old dirty bastard. Who that kid? That pack of 2 belt and dirty ratchet. Set your tape recorder, lock down your daughters. Soon as I touch the rap game, give my order.
Give me your car, I show you how to flip mileage. Give me that mic, I short it with a quick wattage. Skip college for the big wallet. The ape on the fire escape with the weight from a hit product. My draft is cold like Miller beer. When I hit it, you see more stars than Tigger chair. The red nigga here, and it's out of control. Something like when Ron Gold went out with Nicole. I bring it back to the streets where the crooks belong. And if it ain't come back wrong, you cooked it wrong. Where's the ball? Hold your nose. At the show, I be shitting out my mouth like my colon closed. Me and Mac 100 proof in case y'all a biter. And overeas, feel these great balls of fire. Yo, I'm hemming them up, coffee grind them, and put them in the vanilla Dutch.
Yeah, believe that. My brother's in the house. Now, nigga, believe that. Let's turn this mother out. Now, nigga, be back. This what it's all about. Now, nigga, not playing. You know what I'm saying? Believe that. My brother's in the house. Now, nigga, believe that. Let's turn this mother out. Now, nigga, be back. This what it's all about. Now, nigga, fuck with America. I'm looking at y'all killers like y'all stole something. Fuck your life. Trust my nigga. Sometimes before I trust my wife. Fuck it, I'm nice. Y'all don't be rushing the mic with your guns in your left hands, not busting it right. Ain't no I in the team, ain't no I in my cream. I'm a semi-auto clean, rapid fire machine. Cocky, 6'3" with knock knees. Attract good rats for blocks, cause I got cheese.
Yo, fool, I carry cheese, but I don't flaunt it. When the towel is thrown in, you know this grown men done spoke on it. We both want it. The track masters, puncturing holes in the beat when a vocal tone poke on it. Barbaric, my caddy truck beyond average. With the same size wheels that's on a horse carriage. Up in the air, you spot my dudes. Rolling over shit like B-Vines and Mountain Dew.
Believe that, my brother's in the house. Now, nigga, believe that. Let's turn this mother out. Now, nigga, be back. This what it's all about. Now, nigga, not playing. You know what I'm saying? Believe that, my brother's in the house. Now, nigga, believe that. Let's turn this mother out. Now, nigga, be back. This what it's all about. Now, nigga, fuck with America. Believe that, my brother's in the house. Now, nigga, believe that. Let's turn this mother out. Now, nigga, be back. This what it's all about. Now, nigga, not playing. You know what I'm saying? Believe that, my brother's in the house. Now, nigga, believe that. Let's turn this mother out. Now, nigga, be back. This what it's all about. Now, nigga, fuck with America.
Gone too far now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything goes when we ride. Even with my little shorty by my side. The long tongue about gonna burn up, pop up, and you can buy some pride. When I say
Welcome to the Kinda Gaming Show.
Yeah. Oh, nope, no, we're not.
Nope.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Okay.
All right, hey, welcome.
Oh, we're all coming back.
Welcome back to the second hour of Chaotic Radio's most exciting gaming show.
Damn.
And the
shots fired.
second, he does more.
He said second favorite. That's putting us behind him.
He does all nerdy things.
Yeah, we're not a gaming show. So.
No.
Oh, okay.
The most exciting gaming
accept that.
show and second best nerd show on the station.
Fair.
Though tonight I can claim we are the best because we literally are doing a collaboration with the best show.
You're
Fuck.
the best around.
No one's ever gonna keep you down.
That's the theme song for Halo, by the way.
Because you're the best one around.
No, because Halo's the best around.
Oh. I get it.
Anyway.
Nice.
All right, so we're back in the second half. We're going to continue counting down our Xbox games. Connor has some Switch titles he needs to talk about because developers keep giving us games.
Hell yeah.
And
I need to get a Switch.
You do.
Yeah,
I
so
want one.
let's
Bayonetta
end-
3. Bayonetta 3. I'm getting a Switch
The whole
for
trilogy.
Bayonetta 3. I know, the second one's but I'm really excited for number
I'm
3.
saying the trilogy is gonna be on Switch. Like,
I know. I played Bayonetta on 3 different systems. I'll play it on this one too.
There you go.
Yeah, and if we have any phone callers, do you want to call in at 909-360-8330? Go ahead, talk about your favorite Xbox games, ask how sexy Mike is, all the normal questions.
How sexy are you, Mike? That's a good answer.
On a scale of 1 to 10. All right, cool. Mike, what is your number 2 Xbox game?
My number 2 is Fable.
Whoa!
Hey.
What a weird
That's
thing.
weird,
Look
I
at
know. Crazy.
That's
Just-
okay.
it's a lot of fun, and the whole I love RPGs, but this having the real time combat
Mhm.
and kind of getting to customize your character, whether you wanted to be melee, ranged, or use magic, I thought was a lot of fun. The interactions with the town folk, with their ridiculous accents, was just I don't know, it was a lot of fun. I know there's a lot of distaste for the later in the series, but
You can seduce your wife, as I remember. That was something that you can do in the first Fable, and that was a big deal.
Okay.
It was.
You could steal your wife if you were evil.
We
Damn.
we have
Steal
a-
her, like her body, her soul.
says that we have a
You could kill
phone
and collect them.
caller, so
We have a caller?
Oh,
shit.
we do.
Who that boy? Who him is?
We got a
Is
Baba
it a
Go
boy?
ahead and patch him on through.
It's gonna be a Baba Booey.
it's gonna gonna be a woman.
Hey, what's up, Luis?
Let's see.
Hello.
Oh, do we patch in?
I think he's doing the computer thing.
Oh yeah, he's doing the. I'm gonna. You know what? Your caller, you're live.
Hi,
Whoa! Ah, why, Andrew? You made him way too loud.
Hello, who is this?
this is Cody.
Oh,
Oh,
shit!
hey,
Hey, what's up, Cody?
Hi,
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I was really hoping you would just go hi again.
So, what is your favorite Xbox game, Cody?
My favorite Xbox game, are we considering, like, of all Xbox games?
Original Xbox, yeah. Anything that was
Original
on,
Xbox, okay.
Yep.
Original Xbox,
I've seen you put hours of KOTOR like replaying it on your iPod.
of what?
On his
I'm
iPod?
playing. Yeah, because he had the iPod Touch. You were playing
Still.
Knights of the Old Republic. Did you
Oh,
play
yeah,
that?
I put a lot into that. I think I more commonly find myself playing Killzone now.
Killzone is a
But that's
PlayStation
PlayStation.
exclusive.
Is it? Oh, I thought it was also on
sure is.
Xbox. No, maybe it was on PlayStation. I can't even remember anymore.
What, have you seen an
I think-
Xbox?
What?
Have you
Do
ever
you know?
seen
Do you
an
know what a
Xbox?
micro shaft is?
Is that the blue one?
I might. I forget. I did play Knights of the Old Republic a lot. Actually, no. I think it was Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy. I played more.
Good choice. Was that on the Xbox?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, that one was definitely on the Xbox.
Oh, I played on PC, so I wasn't sure. It's a good one.
All right.
Easy
Cool.
going.
Thank you for calling
Do you have,
in.
do you have
Thanks.
any more shit you want to say, Cody, before you peace out of here?
Have fun with the chip.
The chip, yeah, that's coming.
The chip, yes.
Andrew,
Andrew
you're
is-
beautiful.
Thank you.
Miguel, you look kind of funny sometimes.
That's
Sometimes.
I believe.
Right now, you look okay.
Okay, was it?
Yeah, he said okay.
You're doing great.
What about Brandon here?
Can you see me?
What?
He could see you.
He doesn't know
Brandon.
Brandon.
He's watching you right now.
Brandon looks great too.
Sweet.
What
Did my
about-
job.
I don't have any point of reference from any other time, but you look great.
Sweet.
There you
That's
go.
all I
Keep
can ask
doing
for.
you.
That's what we keep him around for. So good.
All right.
All right.
Just gonna keep this.
Thanks for calling in, Cody.
No problem.
Cool shit.
See you, man.
See you, bud.
Peace.
Bye.
Close friend of the show.
Yes, he is.
Cool.
He's actually visiting from. He's been in New England for a year and a half, so he's around for the holidays.
I noticed he didn't say anything about you, Mike. That's because you're dressed how all Marvel characters go
Oh, no,
incognito.
Yeah,
I'm a vampire. I don't.
There's a
appear
guy here?
on
What the fuck?
camera. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
sorry.
You're just a voice.
He's half
Cool.
John Cena.
Every time I look over at you, Brendan, my turtle's getting closer and closer to you.
Yes.
What are you
Wait,
planning?
is that a metaphor?
No,
Oh,
No,
it
my
is.
actual
yeah,
turtle.
Sorry.
he's got a turtle in a
Sorry.
box.
I like to look at figures very closely.
It's a good-looking figure too. For
It's not.
It's. I mean, like for a cheap kid's toy.
Sure.
That's all. I'm saying.
I guess so.
So, what's your number 2, Brendan?
Oh, is it
Hey.
my turn?
No, Bernard.
Bernard.
Yeah,
Whoever's
that's what I
next.
thought.
What the fuck is wrong with you, Andrew?
Number 2, Burnout 3, The Takedown.
Wow.
Burnout 3, The Takedown was the one driving game that everybody loves. I don't give a damn who you are. Because what you do, you drive around and destroy shit.
Fuck shit up.
It is
Fuck up
beautiful.
yourself. It's great.
Cause the biggest car accident you possibly can. And the second thing about it, EA was awesome by getting unsigned bands to do soundtracks for their games back in the day.
Yeah,
I remember seeing this band, Go Betty Go, who's playing right now, a 4-chick punk rock band. Her found them in the game. It was awesome. They also had a couple other unsigned LA artists I used to like Oza Motley and what is it? Before they got really big, the Von Bondis.
Oh, I love the Von Bondies.
And
Holy shit.
They're in a couple of the soundtracks for those games. So
Oh, that's
Burnout 3
rad.
to Takedown is amazing. Thank you, EA, for putting like real music in the games when we play around and find new artists from that too.
We got a comment in the in our section right here, and as soon as you said burnout, they just said boo burnout.
Burnout was cool.
That's so sad.
I also noticed he said San
Who did?
Andreas. I agree with him though. San Andreas I played on PS2, not on Xbox.
Now, Grand Theft Auto Vice City. Vice City was the best one.
Hey,
That was when
Necro
I
G,
played on PlayStation.
I don't give a
not
damn what you
on
think.
Xbox.
I don't like GTA, but I
Nice.
like Vice City.
Burnout's a great game, man. It's one of the, I wish that was a game like a type of racing they would still use today, because at best they only put that in like battle modes. Like I just want the entire racing experience.
There was
to
a
be like
game on
Burnout.
the computer I played a lot of at my grandparents' house. It was called like Midtown Mayhem.
Midtown Madness.
Yeah, that one. It's a good time.
Good times.
That one's fun. Anyway,
So,
that's all I wanted to say about that.
So, Brendan, what's your number 2?
Oh, it's my turn now.
Yeah, what's
My number
your
2 is the. I'm really confused why people haven't said this. Even as an honorable mention, it better be your number 1s. It's Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind.
I didn't I forgot to honorable mention it. It
Wow!
was almost on the list though.
Oh,
Like,
it hurts.
And I was sitting there and I was like, I didn't put it on, and I don't know why I forgot to honorable mention it. I love Morrowind though.
This was
It
my
so close
first
to being-
introduction to the Elder Scrolls
Mine
and
too.
Bethesda in general. And I
Oh,
went
yeah.
back and played the original Fallouts on computer because of this game. Holy shit. And now I'm in school for game design because I want to work for Bethesda.
Nice.
Like Morrowind kind of started all that. And trying to go back and play it, it's mind numbing.
Fucking big. It's so goddamn
It's big, it's a lot of
It's-
text space.
it's
It's
a-
hard as hell.
Yeah.
Where is Bethesda headquartered?
Texas.
They've got a
It used to
church
be.
over on
You
that
sure
mountain,
you
man.
want to work with?
I know. Well, it is also there too.
Oh, okay.
Because they're partners now. But they were obviously Bethesda, Maryland, because that's a city.
Uh-huh.
Where then they split up. It's a long story.
Did you say obviously?
There's a city.
Obviously.
There's a city
obviously.
called Bethesda.
Doesn't everybody know
there is a
about
religion
Bethesda, Maryland?
Bethesda.
You go there in Fallout 3. You go to the Bethesda headquarters.
Hey, look at that. That's cool.
Bum, bum, bum.
Where is it though? What are you looking at?
I'm looking at Bethesda, Maryland.
Yeah, exactly. See, told you. It's right there. It's even in Fallout 3. Just saying.
It's so obvious.
It says
Yeah.
ZeniMax
God.
Studios. I
My
don't know.
bad.
How do you
Maybe
not know?
I'm really
because
showing my
my
ignorance.
father is a map maker, so geography's always been a big part of my family. It's just common sense.
It checks out.
Either way, Morrowind is a fucking awesome game and beautiful game, and everyone should play it, even though it does not age well. Play Oblivion.
No,
That's
no,
true.
man, I can't play any of those games because the combat is just so bad.
That's not the point. The combat is bad, yes, in all of them, even Skyrim. But that's
It's
not the
so
point.
bad.
That's why they
Like-
made Fallout. If you really want combat, Fallout has good shooting.
But
And then-
why am I gonna play a game for 100 hours where I don't even like swinging my sword at somebody?
It's exploration. It's like every game you like. Abzu?
Yeah, except the exploration's better in Abzu.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm just saying, like,
What the
it doesn't.
Seriously. Right?
What?
I don't know if we can take Andrew's opinion into account for any of this. He doesn't like Halo.
Jesus.
Or Elder Scrolls.
I don't because they're not good games.
They are wonderful games. That's why they're
I've
been
never-
praised and remade so many times.
I've never talked to anybody that's played a
think
Moral or an Elder Scrolls game. Is like, yeah, man, this combat is great.
Not the combat. You can get over that because that's not the point of the game.
I think it's weird to claim a game is bad just by nature because it's like I don't like Skyrim. I think it's overrated as fuck.
Overrated, but not.
I know it's
bad
good.
yeah.
It has to be a good game. It like
If it's overrated,
And
remakes
I said a lot of the times, I said in this show, I know Halo is a good game. I don't like it.
right.
The Morrowind, Skyrim, they're bad games. There's
They're
a
not
difference.
Bad games. That's why they're one of the most successful companies in gaming.
That's why fucking Activision is one of the most successful because they make Call of Duty. I
They're
don't
just
like
a
those,
publisher,
but those
though.
Are games.
They're just a publisher.
Okay,
Bethesda
Treyarch.
is both, by the way, developer and publisher, and
Yeah.
Morrowind, of which was a developer part.
I enjoy some Bethesda games. I really, we've had this conversation. I really liked Rage by Bethesda, which
That was
I know
also id.
Yeah,
So that's
But published
good.
by Bethesda.
Yes.
All right. Anyway, fucking Connor, what's your number 2?
Fucking Connor.
Oddworld, Munches.
Wow,
Odyssey.
good choice. I love that
Yeah.
one. You can sit there and burp and fart for hours. That's the best part of the
you
game.
Burp, you fart, you collect little slime balls and little fucking maggots.
And the whole thing looks like Mountain Dew.
And yeah, and you fucking throw monsters into a giant wood chipper and you drink espresso. Not
Holy shit.
or espresso. is what
Espresso.
they-
Yeah.
They actually did espresso.
And you go to the settings menu and you go blah 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 blah.
Blah, blah, blah.
It's wonderful.
It's so fucking good. I love that game. Like I've heard like people talk shit on it and stuff before. I was like, what the fuck?
No,
Like
all the Odyssey games like Abe's World or
they're
Odd
so
World. I guess.
wonderfully stupid and silly. Like it's decent like platforming, going around and doing all that fun stuff. And
It's a really good translation from a 2D platformers into a
Right.
third person.
Yeah,
It's
because-
really good.
Because Abe's Odyssey and Abe's Exodus
They were
side-scrolling.
but they were more like Heart of Darkness or
Mhm.
Another World, whatever that one's called.
Yeah. And so, and that was one of my first forays into playing Xbox was Munch's Odyssey. I was at my cousin's house for the summer. This was the same summer that I delved
The
into
Halo?
Animal Crossing.
Oh.
That
It was a big turning point in your life.
Yeah. And it was also the first time I played Postal 2.
Oh, geez.
So, it was
That's
a
an
good
experience.
summer. Yeah, it was fun.
You have
But
to play Postal?
Was Postal 2 ever on a
It was
console?
PC.
I thought so.
yeah, he had it on PC.
Not a real game.
It's not. It's more. The best part is sticking a cat on the end of your gun as a silencer. And it goes,
There's a lot of better parts, like peeing on people until they run away.
or until they whoop your ass. One of
Yeah.
the two.
Usually, if you pee on
Or-
a woman, they're gonna run away.
Or scoop. Yeah. Now we're talking about Postal, but yeah, Munch's Odyssey. It's super fucking fun. Did you play it, Bernard?
Of course he did.
No, I didn't. Actually.
Whoa!
See, that's surprisingly.
That's one of the ones I actually regret not playing any Oddworld games.
Wow,
Oddworld's a good series.
I like Oddworld.
Yeah.
Oddworld's a great series. So
It
yeah,
is.
There we go. Necro G in the chat says now Oddworld is a classic. I feel like that was kind of
Necro G is high. We don't give a damn what he thinks.
And Cody said Stranger's Wrath.
Oh yeah,
exclamation mark.
Yeah, Stranger's
That
Wrath
was
is
the
good.
DLC.
That was the first-person shooter one, right?
That was later. Yeah, you have the fucking crossbow and everything.
That's
They put
right.
it on PSP and PS3, I believe.
It was on one of those
It was
because I
the-
remember
yeah.
downloading it on something.
I know LRG did a run of Stranger's Wrath on the PS Vita, and they also did like a special edition and all that stuff. Super cool.
It was pretty fun. They did a good job with that one.
Yeah, Stranger's Wrath was a lot of fun. That was later though. I don't.
It was.
That wasn't on original Xbox.
No.
That was 360 and stuff.
It was later.
We are now down to the nitty and the gritty, as they say. The number one. Fucking.
I'm surprised we've gotten so far so quick with all the talking.
I'm really excited for
There's
this
two
one.
people who just haven't even fucking.
That's
played
right,
Xbox.
huh?
Yeah, because you and I've been interjecting a little bit here and there.
Yeah,
but-
my 3 games would have been Fable, Mortal Kombat, Deadly Alliance, and fucking
Halo 1 and 2.
That and Halo.
I didn't play
play
Halo
2
2 on
that's
the
right.
console.
That's
yeah.
right. You didn't play 2. That's why I whooped your fucking ass so hard on it. It was like it was.
I'm
I just
really
gotta
excited.
Say it. I just gotta always put it like because it was just so funny. It was like it went from being like, oh yeah, we're pretty level to being like, oh you're fucked. It was fun.
Yeah, if I had a list, it probably would have like Hunter the Reckoning would have been on it, which is a really cool twin stick shooter.
Mike's like, what the fuck?
Oh, did you play
talking
Hunter?
about?"
Yes.
Oh man,
It's because well, it's based off of a tabletop role playing game.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Vampire the Masquerade and Hunter
like
the Reckoning
Shadowrun.
were the vampire hunters
Okay.
from that
Whoa, that's
thing. And so
cool.
I was like, yeah, and then it sucked.
I haven't
so-
played it since I was a kid. I really enjoed it as a kid.
Speaking of tabletop,
I don't know if it's aged well. It may not be a good game.
It didn't
but
even present well, let alone age well.
Fair, that's fair. You know, when I was serious when I said like Virtua Tennis 2002 or whatever, like that was one of the few Xbox games I played because they don't make tennis games anymore. So those are my lists.
there's a long-running tennis game series, isn't there?
No.
I think we kind of killed that for people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Fucking Rockstar's table tennis. That was dope.
That game is so good.
It is good.
Like, why
that was-
Rockstar made a table tennis game, no one knows, but
No,
it was so good.
Everyone does know it. It was they were testing their physics engine.
That's awesome.
Is that
Yeah, that was like the whole reason. It's also why LA Noire happened because they wanted to do
The
some.
face,
they were
yeah.
doing some testing with the facial recognition and all that stuff, and they're like, "Wow, this is really cool," but it was a really long, tedious process. We're not going to use this in our games, but since we did so much of this, we'll make a whole game out of it.
But they did a really good job with LA Noire.
Yeah,
And really
Love that
creepy in
game.
some parts.
I love that game.
I'm playing through it right now on Switch. It's very
Nice.
good.
I want to
Oh,
play
you
it
got it.
again, not on 360.
They have it on
Mine.
Xbox One now.
Yes,
I have an
Xbox
Xbox
One,
One.
PS4,
Yeah.
Switch.
I know. I have a PS4. I,
think
could
it's
buy
like
it.
$10 today. I was
Have
going to
they-
buy a couple games.
Have they
Yep.
updated it? Because I played it when it first came out, and I've been seeing that it's on Xbox One.
They
it's
remastered
updated
it
for the
completely.
4K. And
It's
everything.
yeah, it has
and
the
it has a
updated-
first-person view or something like that.
Interesting.
First-person view, huh? Weird.
I don't know why I haven't bought it again on PS4. I see it every day. I touch it every day.
You
I have
sell
to go
it
through the
every day.
drawers.
We're still
I
talking about the
don't.
game.
Oh, games.
Yeah. What's your number one, Mikhail?
My number one Xbox original game is Jade Empire.
Nice, good one. That's the one I was thinking of earlier, and I couldn't remember the
Yeah,
name.
I also was gonna honorably mention Jade Empire.
That's a good one.
Great. I like when we were going through our honorable mentions. I was like listening to you guys speak, and then my mind was like, "Hey, forget everything you were."
There was
thinking of."
another one. You kept going back to like Jeff Wars Gemini or just like other old games. I'm like, no, it's something with a J, but I couldn't remember what it was.
Jade Empire, man. BioWare again.
Right.
Killing
And,
it.
Like I love martial arts. I study martial arts, so to have a game that you're like that's your focus. You get to train in these different styles. Like the combat was so much fun. You got Nathan Fillion voicing Gao the Lesser.
That's cool.
Bringing us
you
back
know,
to Halo because he does the voice in
Yeah,
Destiny. So,
And Halo.
oh yeah, and Halo Reach. That's right.
And
And Halo
ODST.
2.
Oh.
ODST,
And
yeah.
5.
What a good man.
All of
Yep.
that.
Being
He
Cade
was what?
6.
He was
He's-
Buck.
He's
in-
Buck, and then he's also additional voices like throughout the series.
Jeez, what a good man.
What a guy.
But yeah, that game I played through it like countless times. I loved it. And
It's-
that's the one I've been looking for that they haven't brought back.
It's currently
Saddens
on
me.
sale, the special edition on Steam for $5.
Wow.
$5.09.
Not a PC gamer.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
You can plug in an Xbox One controller and it
dude,
works perfect.
dude,
I know, but
I
I
wasn't one
don't.
either. But
I'm-
I putting your Xbox controller in there,
Yeah.
it changes the whole thing.
Especially
To-
now that Xbox controllers are Bluetooth.
You know what's
You
weird?
don't even need
To be
worry
fair,
about it.
Mike, I'm the exact same as you. I have a gaming laptop at home, but I would much rather just sit down and play on my PlayStation than play on my computer. I don't know what it is.
I was doing this yesterday. I just plugged my HDMI into my computer and I had my Xbox controller plugged into the PC. I didn't even realize that I wasn't playing PS4 because it was just the same
It's just
setup.
on your
Yeah.
screen and everything. Yeah.
Yeah,
It just runs faster.
Try booting the Steam Big Picture mode. And
You
then,
know-
I have.
Oh,
I
weird.
tried playing Dark Souls 3 because Steve bought it for me for Christmas
Yeah,
last
that's
year,
right.
and I plugged in my Xbox One controller, and it I don't know, it felt shitty for some
Really?
reason. Yeah.
The only thing I feel like that can make me a PC gamer is if I go buy like a Steam machine and just hook it up to my.
That's just
That does nothing. Yeah, it's
I
just
know.
plugging
Don't
HDMI.
tell me that. Don't tell me that. It's a Steam machine.
No,
it's a
it's-
console, and I'm gonna hook it up to my
Did you know?
television.
Do you know how much it costs right now?
There's like a million Steam machines.
It costs $5.
What?
For a Steam Link because the machine is already what you have.
Oh,
You're paying for the Steam Link to
Pretty
play it on
much.
your TV.
Then I will go buy a Steam Link, and maybe that'll
Maybe it'll
$5.
remedy you. Yeah.
maybe that'll get me over the hump
How
of
long
not doing
You
it.
get to play on a Steam Link for $5.
The Steam Link costs $5.
It's its own thing.
I just sold one today.
Streams,
It's
yeah,
$5.
It streams your PC to another TV.
Oh, it's not a subscription? You
No.
just need the, wow.
You just
All
buy a
it
little
is
box.
like a wireless
$5, that's dope.
Steam
I'll do that.
server
Wow,
for
holy
your,
shit.
your
Just-
TV.
I'll have my PC in my living room now.
It's like a
too.
Roku.
Maybe
Think of it
that,
like
maybe that would change your mind if you could just.
Maybe. I mean, I've tried on a couple of games with a controller on my laptop. It's still not the same thing. I mean, yeah, I understand what you guys are saying.
Yeah.
Connected to your big TV. And
I have an
whatever, but
ITX
I haven't
machine,
done
so
that,
it even makes it feel more like a console.
All right. So Jade Empire. If they announce tomorrow, BioWare's like Jade Empire remastered on PS4, Xbox One, you're going to GameStop and pre-ordering.
I would pay full price. Like that's how much I love that game.
That's what I do with
Do you-
Doom. I love Doom 2016 so much. I straight up just bought it again on Switch. Like,
Yeah,
Or
I
you-
would do the same.
I was like, I don't even care that it's full price, and I was like, people fucking talking shit. I'm like, this game is good enough to do that.
Are you not a buy full price type of guy usually?
Well, not on like an old game.
Oh well,
Right,
that's
yeah.
fair. That's fair. All right, Bernard, what's your number one?
I had one more honorable mention that didn't get mentioned. Conker's Bad Fur Day Remastered.
Oh, Live and Reloaded.
Live and Reloaded. That was
Didn't know
a
that was
great
a
one.
thing.
But my number one is Double Fine's greatest game ever, Psychonauts.
Wow. That
See,
is a good one.
what are the
Yeah,
games
that's
that they make?
surprising.
Psychonauts is the game.
Double Fine said a
that
couple
I,
things.
I wish I had played. Like
You
it's
can play it now,
it's-
Xbox One compatible,
you know, I think I actually just got it for free because Humboldt was doing like a
Grim
free thing
Fandango.
recently.
and play the hell out of it.
Yeah, and I don't know why I haven't played it. And I've always seen it. It always looked appealing to me, and I just didn't play it.
You trust me. The first
Grim Fandango,
first
okay.
level you get in, you're gonna be there forever.
Yeah.
You're gonna finish in like no more than 5 hours. You're gonna love it and laugh all through it.
Yeah,
just because you got the
looks so good.
The Milkman stage and the Gogolore stage are the two stages you can be like, how fucking high were these people?
I've heard that. Yeah,
to
it's
make
so
this happen.
wonky.
This is great.
I didn't know they made Gang Beasts.
It looks so good. Like that's all I could say right now because I can't comment on it because like I said I haven't played it.
It was a
It's a wild
Xbox original exclusive and still didn't help out. It went to PlayStation later on. But it's one of my favorite games. When I found out it was for the Xbox One, I lost my shit and started playing it that night. And
Nice.
I got like halfway through thinking, oh no, I got work in the morning. Crap.
And that's your honorable mention.
No, that's my number one.
Psychonauts,
Okay.
number one.
My apologies.
His honorable mention was Conqueror's Bad Fur Day Live and Reloaded.
Okay, for some reason I missed that little bit, and I started hearing you talk about the game. I'm like, oh wow, you're really passionate about this honorable mention of yours.
I'm finally gonna play Live and Reloaded. I played the original on N64, but I got the rare replay.
Oh yeah, you'll
So,
like it. You'll like it. It's
Yeah,
fun.
I know they censored it. I know that's one thing, but it's like it also makes it funnier at some points.
Some
because-
of it is just still as ridiculous as before.
Yeah.
So if you played it on 64, you're gonna laugh. You play it on the Xbox, you're gonna laugh just as much. And they had the multiplayer on it too.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Brand Dizzle.
My number one is really good.
What Halo?
It's really good. It's better than Halo. It's not.
Soul Calibur 2.
No, it's really good though.
Nice fucking Spawn. That was rad.
Star Wars Republic Commando. That's the one.
Fucking
Yeah, that game. You guys played it?
Nope.
The Republic Commando?
I have. It's fucking
Those
rad
guys
as
are
shit.
missing
It's good.
out.
Dude,
That's the
this-
best first-person shooter, tactical team-based shooter, whatever you want to call it, that LucasArts has ever done. And I don't even know how to put it. Like, it was originally going to be rated mature because it was brutally violent, and it takes place in between episodes 2 and
Oh, that
3.
one.
So after seeing the movies, you're like, whoa, what's this going to be?
We're about to be brutal.
And then they toned it down and made it T right as it came out.
Yeah.
I think it was actually mature on Xbox, and when it came to PC, it was brought down to teen. But it's incredible seeing a story that bridges, perfectly from episodes 2
It's
to
on
3.
sale on Steam right now.
The story is awesome. The gameplay is awesome. All the characters have unique personalities and different armor that's very unique to them, to their character. But it's really cool being able to kind of command them, so it feels like a first-person RTS in a sense, where they have an AI, but they're not really going to do much unless you tell them like, "Hey, go slice that door over there. Hey, you create a barricade because you're the heavy," and you set all that up, and it's wonderful. And the PvP was awesome. It was fast-paced. It was snappy. It was very much like Quake.
Seeing it again, it reminds me. That's one of the things I really liked about it is that they had the helmet view.
Yeah, in the helmet view, like
Yeah, and it just
fucking
looks
dope.
cool. It's like, hey, we're actually seeing the inside of the helmet.
Oh, it's wonderful. The whole thing is just action packed. It's I don't know.
Yeah, but it's really unrealistic because you can
It's
actually
Star
hit
Wars.
your
Nothing's
target.
realistic.
You can hit your target.
You're not a stormtrooper.
And check out that COD piece.
They're clones. I know, right? Look at that thing. No, clones are clones of the one and only Jango Fett.
Yes. They're not
Stormtroopers are not.
Stormtroopers are recruited.
Recruited, and they're bad.
All right.
All right.
So it's your number one, Connor, and you got a special dickin' to do.
We're gonna crack this open, and so I talk about my number one.
I love Republic
So,
Commando a lot.
Any last words? The Reaper is waiting. There's all this other shit in there. Do it.
So he got
So-
this chip by eating a fuck ton of their ghost pepper chips,
They're haunted ghost pepper is what it was called. You buy them at 7-Eleven, and it was
which he
like,
has around the corner from his house.
yeah,
so
and
he
it
buys
was
them
all like,
full.
hey, buy these chips, you can win this Carolina Reaper one chip challenge.
Learn
so,
a way to melt your
there we
tongue
go.
off.
I'm gonna go
So
and
the-
start recording on here because I have to put it on like Instagram or Twitter.
Yeah, the
for
challenge.
the challenge thing.
The challenge is to eat it and not drink anything for a minute, right?
Can I see it? Hold it
Something
up for the
like that.
camera to see.
Oh, the actual chip. Oh yeah. Ooh, that's a lot of dust.
That
Oh,
looks-
we gotta bite
damn.
the hardest, that
So-
part first. It has the most on
He's
it.
gonna
Yeah.
one
I'm gonna
bite
put
it.
the
I
whole
think.
thing in
All
your
right,
mouth.
so, all right, so what's
Oh.
your number one? And then you could bite it. And
No,
then
no,
start
no. He
talking.
has to do
I'm
it
gonna
and
do
then
it
say
and
it.
talk about it.
Oh, okay.
Go for it. There he goes. See you, Connor. Rest in peace.
What is it? What's your number one? Say
Rip.
it with your mouth full. I don't care. Nope. Gotta swallow it whole. It's gonna hurt.
Lick your fingers.
Put them up your nose. Rub your eyes.
Put your finger up your butt.
I'm feeling it.
There it is.
Yeah, it's hitting me. It's already got me tears in my eyes. It's fine.
Wow.
All right. So, my number one is Halo Combat Evolved.
Wow, what a good game. Let's talk about it a little bit, Connor.
Yeah, let's really talk about.
Why
I'm
don't you
so invested in hearing you talk about Halo.
So,
Just let him
Explain
talk.
yourself.
the Xbox Halo Combat Evolved
Uh-huh.
was my first foray into really good 3D graphics.
Dude, nothing gives this guy hiccups, but this has fucked him up.
It was fucking amazing. So,
Keep going.
Christmas morning. Oh my god.
Nope, a minute. You need a minute, man.
Oh, this is wonderful.
Talking's hard.
No, that's the point.
Talking's what made it worse.
That's why they have the, what is it? Hot Pepper Gaming?
Yeah.
It makes me want to throw up.
Don't do it.
All right.
You got wrapping paper, you got paper towels.
I see the sweat
We
coming.
walked in. There it is on my cousin's TV. And it, my god, it looked amazing. Because I played PS1 and N64. I didn't get PS1 and PS2 until summer of 2002. And, oh man. Walking in Christmas morning into my cousin's house, into his room, seeing Halo, they were driving the Warthog through the trees.
Are you crying?
Yeah, a little bit. It was amazing though.
Beautiful, so
It's a
game was so
moment.
beautiful.
And I just remember seeing it, hearing it. You know, the dun, 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 dun. Yeah.
I hear the passion in his voice.
Whew.
Yeah, that's all it is.
It's fucking.
Pure passion.
Oh, look
Yeah,
it up. I
it's
think we've actually
crying
been
about
over a
it.
minute, but. Oh, man. Halo 1, like, the only reason I didn't put it Halo 2 instead of Halo 1 is because Halo 1 just has that special spot of me seeing those super graphics. And everything changed because then I became a super big fan of Halo. And played it for years and years after that. Whew. It's still there. I've just gotten used to it. It didn't subside.
I want to save just
the
that
tears
little
are
clip.
rolling.
Like his passion in his voice with the music going on. Like it sounds like Halo is the greatest thing. Like, it
Yeah, if you
saved
cut
his
out the
life.
chip portion
making
of
me
it,
cry.
it just
Oh
looks
my
like he's
God, yeah, it's
super
like-
I
emotional.
love
Just-
Halo, man.
Run
I'm so
through-
good.
I'm
Run
gonna.
through the trees.
I feel like honestly, okay, talking about this chip real quick. If I wasn't talking, I don't think it would have been as bad giving me the fucking hiccups. But my tongue, because I switched it around a little bit like whiskey.
Sounds
Woo!
like it's numb.
I really want to just cut the beginning bit and send that clip over to Bungie. Bungie.
Bungie.
Someone
Halo.
loves Halo 2 a little too much.
I woke up.
Halo 1.
Yeah, Halo 1.
Sorry.
This was Combat Evolved.
You gonna smell it, lick it, and everything? Oh man,
It smells really bad.
it does.
It smells like BO.
I'm gonna try it. See if beer makes it worse.
It smells like BO.
Wow, that almost nullified it instantly.
Really?
Yeah, that actually like killed it. Whoa.
That's
Pro tip:
some funky smell right
beer
there.
will like kill Carolina
Oh,
Reaper.
God. Yeah, that
IPAs will. The hops are doing it for you.
Oh, that smells fucking awful.
This
Smells
is,
like an
No,
armpit.
this isn't even an
Told
IPA,
ya.
but it's an ale.
Yeah, it is.
so-
Citradelic is IPA.
Is it? It just says exotic lime ale.
You sure?
Do you want to lick it?
Fuck no.
Why not?
Because it smells
It'll make
like
you
my
love.
ass.
It'll make you love
Ugh.
Halo so much.
Yeah, right. Where's the fucking... Oh, it's coming back. Oh, second wind.
I don't think you heard it.
Oh, did you hear Brandon?
Okay, good. You heard me. That was funny.
That's great.
Cool. So that was our top 5 Xbox games.
Mine is the best.
Now you have to explain to Brandon
Commander.
what's wrong with Rogue One.
No, he has to talk about Switch games first.
I don't know
that's
if I
right.
can handle
But
this.
basically, all of it has to be him talking because they're his segments now.
Yeah, that's true, huh?
So
Well, okay, we did talk
as
about
some
Rogue One because we mentioned Halo Reach being the best Halo game.
Right.
Therefore, Rogue One is the best Star Wars movie. It's the same fucking thing.
I don't know. I liked Rogue One.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know if I would call it the best one. Just because I think if you took all the other movies away, the original trilogy is a lot better without them.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. If we want to get into like
That's
the
actually my
trilogies,
whole argument is I like the original trilogy
Well,
a
the
lot.
thing
and
is
everything
that
else kind of fucks it.
I
fucks it
want to
up.
bring up because I like all the movies. Like I enjoy them because they're Star Wars. I like all of them, even the prequel.
Right.
And people don't like the prequels because they'll say the acting. Like, whoa, that's weird. You see Mark Hamill?
I gotta say about
In episode
Chip,
4, you see that acting? You call that? Oh, it's going to Tashi Station to pick some power converters.
This is
You call
hotter
that
than the
good?
jerky I had.
It's hotter.
The jerky I had before, this is way hotter.
Your glasses are fogged up.
It's double in the Scoville.
I'm really
scale.
happy that you have fog
The
inside
jerky
your
was
glasses.
Carolina Reaper as well.
Yeah, but the Scovilles it came out to was double.
That's amazing.
Because that was 1 mil, you said, and this is 2.2.
Okay, yeah, talk about your Switch games.
So every probably week we get sent in Switch games from different independent developers or bigger developers. They range from different prices. If you go ahead and tell us which one to talk about, I'll say who sent them to us, the price point, all that stuff. But if you can, without dying, go ahead and.
One of them is called Red Game Without a Great Name.
Yeah.
He looks like he's recovering. His face isn't nearly as red.
Can you lick the powder?
Oh yeah, I should just turn this off because we're done with it. Bye bye.
Lick the powder.
No, I'm not gonna do that. You could do that.
No, it smells like armpits.
So real quick, Red Game Without a Great Name is published by iFun for All SA, and is currently being sold for $1.49.
Oh,
on Steam, yeah, it's definitely a mobile game.
It's
I can tell.
$3 normal.
Yeah,
I feel like they could have come up with a more creative title instead of being.
it's definitely a mobile game because it's all touch
Tongue in
based.
cheek.
They don't use the you don't use the fucking controls at all. And but it's fun.
It's motion based on the
no,
Switch,
No, it's interesting. It's not motion based. It's an interesting concept. It's touch based.
but does Switch have a touchscreen on the? It's a touchscreen.
Yeah.
It's a multi-touch screen on the Switch. It's
How
just like
come
your
it
phone.
never works on anything I've touched?
What?
It doesn't work on Legends
That
of Zelda.
sounds like something you
There's
should
no-
talk about with your doctor.
Oh, because they didn't put it in.
There's
like-
no
Yeah,
touch features.
like
in
every game
Zelda.
that I've seen, which
Well, 'cause-
isn't many because I don't have a Switch. I've tried touching the screen, like thinking that it would be a touchscreen.
Yeah, they didn't
Doesn't
care to
do shit.
implement
Well,
it.
you have to remember it's a hybrid console, so a lot of times when they develop games for the Switch, they make it so that you play it without any touchscreen, so you play it on the console version.
That's true. I would probably only play it as a console because I don't like handheld games. But Bayonetta.
I will say immediately this game has a really nice art style.
Yeah, it's kind of like the shadow levels in Rayman, the way it looks.
Mhm.
You play as a bird and you're delivering messages and you pick up coins on the way there.
It's Flappy
it's actually
Bird.
pretty difficult.
It's
no,
Limbo.
It flies and you have to fucking you
Whoa.
you could see the changing right there. It gets pretty difficult.
Yeah, it looks like it. Holy shit.
It was fun. I liked it, and especially for the price that you just mentioned. Yeah, fucking go for it. Very fun. I enjoyed it.
So wherever you draw your finger, like the line, is that where it teleports to?
Yeah, it goes where you end your finger at, and you have a limited range, so you can't just go all the way across the screen. And you really have to play with how he flies because the jet streams will change your direction of flight, and then so you're going up and down while the screen still rotates to the
Yeah, that's
side.
crazy. What were they thinking?
It's pretty hard actually.
It's intense.
It looks legitimately good. Like that's a
Mhm.
game that I would have no problem buying.
I want to say this is the first time this happened when I eat something hot. I can feel it in my gums.
Whoa.
Wow.
That feels weird.
Oh yeah, your gums
Yeah.
are red as fuck.
That feels weird.
Yeah, smiling. I hate it
Cool.
too.
Yeah.
His lips are red.
The other game I played was called Serial Cleaner. And what that is,
how was cereal spelled?
it's
Like
SCR,
killer.
Like,
Okay.
yeah. What you do is you go around and you clean up dead bodies from what some crime dudes have done.
Some crime dudes.
Yeah.
Oh, achievement hunter.
You're basically the wolf from fucking Pulp Fiction. You go around and you clean up bodies and
I love
you
Pulp
pick up the
Fiction.
fucking guns and all that shit. It's really fun. I actually I haven't played the full thing yet,
The art style is neat.
but the
Wow.
music is fucking dope. It's like that 70s funky jam going on like
It's
the
my
whole
shit.
time. It has a story going on that's very like nonchalant. You kind of just play through. It's got a Hotline Miami vibe to it.
Mhm.
Because and it's a stealth game. You're supposed to avoid being seen by guards. You pick up the bodies, put them in your car, pick up the evidence, clean up blood and stuff. It's really fun.
So you're working for a serial killer, pretty much like covering him up.
You work for all kinds of people. You work for the mafia. You work for just
Oh,
random people. Like
fuck.
or like sometimes like a bar owner will call you and be like, "Hey, some guys got crazy at my bar. I need you to come clean up." Like,
Huh?
that's your job. You get the. And it's like you're like, "Yep, all right. Leave a sealed envelope with the
Oh, look
money.
at
and
that
we're
mustache.
good." Yeah, super fun. I really recommend this one. I don't know the price on it, but I recommend it.
It's currently being sold for $15. It is developed by iFun for All.
Totally
So
worth
actually,
it.
the
Same.
same people that made a red game without a name made this one.
Well, are they published? I'm assuming, or did they? Actually
No,
make
they
it?
publish and develop.
Oh wow. Yeah,
So-
it's really good. I like it a lot.
Oh no, I'm sorry. They develop. It was published by Curve Digital.
Okay.
My apologies.
It's
Who-
super fun. I really liked it.
And
I
it-
recommend it. I got a beard hair in my mouth.
You said worth, so $15 of fun?
Tell you, yeah, totally. It's super good.
Nice.
I really enjoyed that one. Wholeheartedly recommend playing Serial Cleaner.
Cool. So this is much better than last time because last time we.
Last time it was like all bad / meh, but God, and what was the other game I played?
Oh, you were saying you were playing that Riptide game,
That-
Riptide GP.
Yeah, I talked about that one though.
Okay.
And that everybody's spoken. Like I recommended that one as being as just don't expect it to be like a hardcore racer. It's definitely an arcade game that's just fun to play. Feels like I'm breathing fire. It's like this. Like now it's back down to like tolerable normal heat, but it's just there. It's like
Are those the only two, or did you do another one?
God. What was the other one I'm playing? I'm like totally drawing a blank right now.
Moon
Yeah,
Hunters.
no, I don't think anyone can blame you.
Oh, not Moon Hunters. It was you play. Oh, what the fuck?
Stick it to the man.
No. You play as like these little forest cat dog thingies.
What the fuck?
And it was actually really interesting. It's a platformer. Shit, what the fuck was it called? It was actually really interesting. At first, I thought it was kind of lame because it was like dropping in frame rate in the cutscenes, and then the gameplay made my eyes hurt a little bit because the motion blur did that weird deal where it's like too much motion blur and it just really fucks with your eyes.
Mm-hmm. And just double checking.
But then the game was just fun, like, and it's really like it fucked with my brain because you take the animal that you are. You start out as the dark cat. We'll just call it a jungle cat. The dark jungle cat, and it you run down. It's not a panther. You'll see. It's totally fucking weird looking.
Oh, okay.
And you're actually running from right to left. It's a platformer, and then you go as the light one, and you run from left to right like normal. They meet up, some fighting, then you fuse as one, and that's where the game begins.
This one, Embers of Miram.
That's it. Embers of Miram.
Whoa, I want to see that. Bring the bag.
I'll pull up a video.
And it's pretty fun. It's complicated because what you do is while you're doing all the platforming and stuff, you have to split apart and do puzzles. But the thing is you control one with one thumbstick and the other with the other thumbstick. And there's puzzles where it's like your brain starts doing things you never really thought about doing, and you control your hands. It's very much like playing an instrument in that way, where this hand you have to guide this one through like all these swirls, and then this one you have like brick settings, and you can't get too far apart from each other, or else it'll fail and you'll poof back.
Do you have to play with the motion, or can you use the thumbsticks?
It's not motion; it's all thumbsticks.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. So you could play technically with someone else.
You could. It would be really hard because you control the jumps with one hand and the movement with the other.
Oh,
but
fuck.
the transformation you control on each hand, so it's really cool. I like right there. You can see the transformation. You turn into the zoom. It's fun. I was enjoying it. I haven't gone through the whole thing, but I'm probably going to because
Yeah, it looks really pretty.
It does. And the only thing I would say on Switch, I don't know if it's multi-platform. I believe it is.
It is. It's also on PS4.
Okay. See, this is PS4 gameplay, I'm assuming, because it's very smooth.
Whereas on Switch, it was having a bit of performance issues. They didn't fully optimize it seemed. And I was actually thinking to myself, this game would benefit from the 2D, like high graphic art style, where it's that smooth hand-drawn look. Because it wouldn't suffer anything from being that, because the game is 2D. There's no 3D moments going on. But it's running. Ooh, got another hit there. Like it came back up from my throat. Yeah, it was very fun. I don't know the price of it, but it was definitely enjoyable.
I will check the price right now.
What is the price you would pay for it?
I would say $20 to $30 is safe.
Okay.
Wow, that's pretty.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty good for you, considering how cheap you are.
Yeah, but if that's what they're selling it for, like solid, like okay, it's in. You can buy it on the eShop for
$20.
$20. That's good because then on sales you can get it cheaper. But $20, I say solid. Go for it. It's fun.
All right, so cool. Again, to all the developers who sent us the games, we want to say thank you. If you want to send us anything, send us your copy of your games at TheKindaGaming Show at chaoticradio.com, and one of us will play it and talk about it over the show. And if you'd like to talk to us over the phone, you can. We have some other things to talk about today, like we are apparently going to be talking about Star Wars in a little bit more detail. Brandon's not excited about it, but that's okay. Why do your eyes look like they're watering more than his?
Because I just yawned.
Oh, okay. We have some big shows planned for next year.
Big show.
Yeah, one of the very first shows we're doing, we're going to be having a professional Magic the Gathering player who just got off of the pro circuit in studio with us.
That's fucking dope.
Don't know yet. He is being represented. We're getting a shop called Top Deck Keep to come in and do an interview with us, and they are bringing a pro player who is on the circuit.
Oh, I love Top Deck.
They will be here for the entire 2 hours.
I actually play there.
And many other big shows. So come on and keep checking us out. But for now, Star Wars. So before we get into it, because I already know.
Did you say Brandon doesn't want to talk about it either?
I don't.
Yeah, I don't want to either. I don't give a shit. I just thought it was a bad movie.
People have subjective opinions. It's totally fine. I really don't care. I like the prequels. I've loved it my whole life.
Miguel's the only person that I know that like thoroughly enjoyed it to the point that he wants to argue it, and the only other person I know that liked it doesn't want to argue it.
I just don't understand your argument about it.
Which one? The new one?
Oh, no, Rogue One.
Rogue One. Okay.
So it's very predictable as one.
Well, because we knew the beginning and the ending of the story.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking also just about the way the characters acted. They also, a lot of stuff
It's
felt
a hero's journey.
A lot of stuff was very forced as well. They forced.
I don't know.
Oh,
a lot of it was it felt so Star Warsy. Like Rogue One was so much like an action adventure Star Wars film.
Well, if you say it's a good Star Wars film, would you say it's a good film?
Yeah.
You do think
I
so?
just watched it again last night, which is kind of funny.
I watched it again this last weekend, and my friend and I were actually laughing through most of it.
I was thinking about it while I was watching it because I was playing Destiny at the same time. So I've seen it a lot, but I would chime in at certain points, and I realized after watching The Last Jedi and hearing everybody's complaints about that.
I haven't seen it yet. No
I'm not
spoilers,
saying
please.
anything. I'm just saying
a
lot of people complained about it. But I mean, while there are things I didn't like about it in like every film, Rogue One is the one that I have the least problems with. I feel like it was very well acted, very well paced, especially well paced. Like the action was there where it needed to be, exposition was there. It was very emotional in certain parts where it needed to be. So that because with the acting, like it was just an all around good film. Special effects were incredible. Like, oh my God, some of those shots were genius. Like just all the setups when it shows like the planet, like the silhouette, and then the Death Star just sitting there, and they both have like the crescent shape on them as it like slowly pans with the music is perfect.
The special effects and the cinematography were very good.
Or when they're talking about
and the makeup effects, the practical, like all that is very good. I'm not going to knock it for that at all.
The best scene in that movie by far. I'll start it off with how it started, where Jin's getting her first, contact from her dad in a hologram message. That's already a touching scene. While at the same time he's telling her about the Death Star while they're doing all the shit to set it up to destroy a planet that she's on, and it syncs up perfectly what he's saying to what they're doing. Like every character is involved in their own way, and it just like everything lines up so perfectly. It's all choreographed phenomenally. And then that explosion as they're escaping with it just like a tidal wave of sand. Never seen that. That was incredible.
I'm genuinely curious because I know you don't like it. I know you love it. I know you like it. Do you have a strong opinion either way, Mike?
I agree.
He likes Rogue One.
No, he just
No, I enjoyed it.
No, he went politician route.
right. He's like, yes.
Seeing Darth Vader just fuck everybody up.
That was the greatest.
That part was cool.
That's like my favorite scene in Star Wars, I think.
Honestly, okay,
Fuck,
so it
dude.
should have just been that. It should have just,
So
been a movie,
good.
it should have just been a movie of Darth Vader fucking going around killing
I
Jedis
mean,
and shit. That would have been
Darth Vader and Darth
They might
Vader.
do that considering all the like side stories they've been doing, the Star Wars stories.
right. Actually, yeah, there's a comic.
Because there's a
book
comic on it, yeah.
right now that's still being published.
The Darth Vader comic.
Yeah, there was actually a really cool arc that just happened recently on that Darth Vader.
There was a lot of cool arcs before Disney took over.
Yeah, there was.
Speaking of that, they just bought 20th Century Fox.
They sure did, but I hope they don't fuck up the X-Men.
It means they're just gonna milk Simpsons that much harder, man.
What's weird is X-Men for me have been 50-50.
Same.
Yeah, right. They have been. Like, 1 was good, 2 was all right, and then 3 was like, okay, let's stop.
Yeah.
And then they did the prequel ones. Those were all really good. And then Logan,
Except for fucking, what's
I
it
liked
called?
Apocalypse a lot.
When it comes to prequels, Origins. Wolverine.
Oh,
X-Men
yeah, yeah,
Origins
okay.
Wolverine.
Well, I
Utter-
know I forget about that one completely. That doesn't exist.
Yeah,
It's
utter
actually
shit tier.
fucking
It's like the
stupid.
best one of all of them.
Jeez, man. Who invited this guy? Anyway,
Logan though, Logan was
Logan
god
was
tier.
incredible.
I still
love
that's
Logan.
That's
I
good.
still that's the only one I haven't seen.
Fox,
Yeah.
Fox has made the
Logan.
worst hero movies and the best,
Best,
ones
yeah.
at the same time. They've made the two
Oh,
greatest
They made
ones.
Deadpool.
Mike made a
Deadpool.
face.
He
Why?
did
What's
make a
up?
face.
Why is one making a face?
I don't think they've made anywhere close to the best.
What's
I
the
mean,
best?
Deadpool
Which
was-
one? Oh, you're right,
Deadpool was
because-
good, but like I
Because
You didn't like that? Or
Watchmen
was it
is the
like the-
best.
Oh, gee.
I love Watchmen.
Exactly, because
Watchmen
that
was
is the one
great,
that
great.
follows the comic almost to a T.
Yeah.
And the things that it changes, the only 2 things it changes, have the exact same outcome. So that makes sense.
Fantastic.
The only big thing that I really didn't like that they changed in the movie versus the comic was how Rorschach
Yeah, killed the guy.
how he killed the guy.
Definitely.
I don't like how in the movie he just fucking murdered him
It
because that
wasn't.
wasn't him. Like that's not how he acted. I get why they got rid of it because everyone would have just said that they were copying Saw because in the comic book he drops a saw and
Right.
burns the house down and tells the guy to start cutting.
Yeah.
And he says the chains will be too hard to cut through.
So you have to cut through, like, yeah, I
So-
get it.
But it's like Saw did that before the movie did.
Well, the
came out.
comics predate that. Huh?
Yeah, but people
Yeah.
fucking read.
Like fucking 20
So,
years.
It's like
Well, when the movie came out, fucking sales for Watchmen.
yes, that's true. That's
fucking
because
skyrocketed.
that's
Because it was a
'cause
great
so
movie.
And
many-
people
yeah.
could sit there and go, wow, they did their job and use the comic as the storyboard.
Right. And even
Uh-huh.
the director's cut makes it even that much better because you
Yeah.
get those like actual scenes, like when you're.
So good.
It's great.
Michael, what would you say was the best superhero movie?
Christopher Reeves, Superman 2.
I like Man of Steel.
I know. I'm just.
I know, but a lot of people don't.
I
was just-
didn't
I was
care for
just
it.
okay with it.
with what?
Man of Steel.
No, I didn't,
It's okay.
I didn't care
It's
for
okay.
Man of
It's
Steel.
alright.
But what is your favorite?
Oh shit!
If you have one.
of all time,
Favorite superhero
Sure.
movie of all time.
Superhero movies.
that is such a hard question.
That's a lot of movies, fucking years. And
If
years.
you want,
Hellboy,
you, if
sorry.
it makes it
Sorry,
easier, you can say
Hellboy.
your,
Fucking Fan Four Stick.
Probably Batman '89.
That's a good
Interesting.
Okay.
That's a good
It's
one.
fun.
I mean,
I mean, I
A
know that's
classic.
Tim
kinda
Burton,
guy.
so you can't go wrong.
well, and it's look. I know they took liberties with the source material, but it's still a good movie. And
It's based more on the Dark Knight comic than the actual Dark Knight movies.
Yeah.
So
I mean, they were running out of titles. What was Christopher Nolan gonna call it? Batman again.
Another Batman movie.
Not another Batman.
Yeah.
Batman steals
they
shit.
should just call it. Yes, we murder his parents again.
Yeah.
Martha. Sorry.
Oh yeah. Oh god. Ugh.
Me and Brandon went and saw Justice League. Has everyone else here seen it?
I haven't
No,
seen it, but I
not
don't
going
care.
I
to.
liked it.
I,
I really liked it.
if someone wants to see it with me, I'll see it. But I
You
don't care
you
if
need
ruin
to
it.
get Movie Pass.
You're right.
Like when we saw The Disaster Artist, fantastic.
Yeah,
film.
it's really good.
Fucking
fantastic film. You could have got Movie Pass for less than the price of your ticket.
right. Yeah. It's what is it? $10? Well, but
It's $9.99, and you
it's a-
paid
it's a
12.
subscription.
Yeah, but it's once per month.
I'm wondering how
that does
often
smell.
I'm gonna want to watch a movie in a month.
At least once a month.
You think,
Michael,
so?
Yeah.
I mean, I probably.
What'd
will
you
just
like
because
about
I have
Justice
it.
League? Did you like it?
I know I did. I
Cool.
enjoyed it. It was fun. It had a more cohesive story than the previous films, I thought. And a lot of people bitched that you could see distinctly where the two directors did their own business, but I thought they actually meshed together pretty well.
Right.
So,
Well, it's like,
They
what are you gonna
did.
do about that, though?
yeah, my biggest problem with the movie was the kind of generic, I just want to destroy everything villain
Yeah,
that we
of
don't get to learn
course.
anything about. And the CG was atrocious.
Without going into like specific details because of these two, I will just say that I really didn't like the direction of that they put with the Flash.
What do you mean?
Okay, I'll just he's a dumbass.
I know, but he was funny.
He's the comic relief. He's Barry Allen, man. That's
Yeah,
what
he
he's
was
supposed to be the jokester. Like that's
He
how
was
he is.
silly.
In the
I don't know.
comics.
I don't know. He just
This
seems
is coming from the
dumb.
guy who wants to see Jumanji.
That's kind of how he
though.
was in
I
the
do wanna see
original,
Jumanji.
Okay, full disclosure. I saw an early screening of Jumanji.
Yeah.
Didn't want to.
Are you allowed to talk
It
about it?
was fucking hilarious. That is all
Okay.
I will say. If you're looking for a great
But-
comedy, like it was actually very, very funny.
That's what I've heard. Like everyone who I've talked to and seen reviews are saying it's surprisingly good. Like it's a movie no one asked for, but when they saw it, they're like, "Yeah, no, go see
Yeah,
it."
I went into it going, "Why is this a thing?" And I walked out like I had enjoyed myself very much. So
It's got a good cast. That's
Yeah, I want to see The
It
Rock
doesn't.
and
It
Jack
has
Black.
The Rock.
What's
The
wrong with The Rock?
The Rock is the
No, that's what I
highest paid
mean. He's
actor
the
in
best. No,
Hollywood.
he's the good part of that movie.
What about
Jack Black is funny, but not when he's playing a little girl.
That's what makes it funny.
That's not funny to me.
And then it's also got Kevin Hart.
That's
Kevin Hart's
stupid. I don't
I-
like Kevin
that-
Hart.
Any complaints
What
I've
about
heard about
Amy
the movie
Pond?
is just the fact that Kevin Hart is playing Kevin Hart, while the other characters
That's why I don't
are
like
like
him.
us.
He's not.
Well,
funny.
yeah, but like The Rock and Jack Black are playing caricatures
Yeah.
of other people,
Mhm.
but he is just literally himself.
I have a
was-
weird taste in humor though. Like Airplane is my favorite comedy.
It's a good movie.
It's pretty fun.
Like that's funny shit. So other things that like don't do, straight face kind of humor, deadpan.
Did you like Tropic
puns,
Thunder?
It was all right.
Tropic Thunder was all right.
It was all right. There were a lot of funny parts in it, but overall, it was all right. It was not something I would watch a third
I
time.
think that was the last time people were okay. I mean, this is gonna sound bad. That was the last time people were like not angry about blackface.
That was funny. That was the best part of the movie. It was so
Well, that's
funny.
because most people acknowledge the fact that it wasn't blackface. They were directly attributing it in the movie to being weird.
No, yeah, I completely
It's because,
yes,
yeah.
but it still is.
Well,
No, but it was a guy. It was a character doing blackface,
Yeah.
not Robert
Right.
Downey Jr.
Robert Downey-
doing
right.
blackface.
Yeah.
for
Okay,
real.
that's
Like,
I
he-
suppose that's
Yeah,
He
they were
wasn't
addressing.
playing-
They were actually addressing
Yeah.
that issue.
They even
in
said it in the
movie.
movie as it being like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, like when
everyone
you
was-
play a fucking KKK member, people are like, "Oh, he's part of the fucking KKK."
it wouldn't surprise me these days if someone made that.
Like Jonah Hill and who else was it in Hateful Eight? Not Hateful Eight, Django
No,
Unchained.
Django, yeah.
Oh,
That
fucking-
was really funny though. I love that. I mean, all of his movies. Quentin Tarantino is one of my favorite directors.
He's the fucking best.
Fucking love that.
I saw recently, or not recently. I was seeing somewhere that Quentin Tarantino wants to
Do Star
direct
Trek?
No, he wants. Maybe this is old news. He wants to direct a Luke Cage movie.
Interesting.
Oh, really? I did not know that. That
I
sounds
could
like it
see
could be
that.
good.
Yeah,
It would just be Jackie Brown again.
I was gonna say something like that.
Yeah, he would totally do it in that exploitation way, like the
Mhm.
original comics. I could see that.
yeah.
That'd be
He was
dope.
saying because I don't remember how or what the conversation came up, but I guess he's a huge fan of Luke Cage, and they're like, if you could direct any superhero film, what would it be? Luke Cage.
That's
That's
crazy.
just what he wants to do.
That'd be cool.
Out of all of them, I mean, yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I would love
I think
like
it's the kind
like
of
to
series he could cut loose with is why as well.
I'm really excited
I wonder
for
if it's because
the
it's a
rumored.
black guy.
Well,
Because all of his films, he says the N word a lot, and there's always a big thing
Sweet
where Samuel L.
Christmas.
Jackson has to tell the white people, "You're gonna say this word, and you're gonna call me that, and you're gonna make it happen on film."
I really hope that the rumored Leonardo DiCaprio movie comes out as the Joker, directed by
What?
Martin Scorsese.
What?
Yeah,
there's
it's
a-
rumored.
There's some rumors.
Interesting.
That's a
Internet
fairly
rumor.
that's an older rumor now, a couple like 2 months maybe, but
Anything but Jared Leto again.
You know what's funny?
It's not.
I didn't like that movie. I ended up being okay with him as Joker, like the
No.
direction they're going. I mean, it's a different take.
It's weird.
I just thought it was.
It's
it,
not.
It perked my interest. let's
There
put it
was
that way.
one scene that I was like, okay, I think they finally nailed how crazy the Joker should be. When he's laying on the ground and all the knives are around in the room,
Uh-huh.
you can see baby clothes sprawled out. So that means he murdered children with knives.
Yeah,
That's when I'm like, okay, I think he could be crazy enough.
yeah. I mean, because they're taking him as like a crime boss essentially.
I know, but that doesn't really strike
And
me
it's-
as insane when you
I'm-
think of the kill.
I'm fairly certain that the rest of the actors hope Jared Leto is not going
Yeah,
to be the
right.
Joker.
Because he sent Margot Robbie the dead rat and like all that other shit.
So,
I thought it was. Will
have
Smith.
you guys seen the new Batman anime that's being made?
the Japanese?
Oh man, I saw
Holy
the trailer
shit.
for it.
That looks fucking cool.
It does look really cool. I was like, why is this being made? And
And
then
thank God it's being made.
no, I like that was the first thing I thought, and then like 25 seconds in the trailer, I'm like, I didn't give a shit anymore why it's being made. I'm just glad that it's
You're
being
just
made.
wondering when it's being made.
So
Speaking about
fucking
things
cool.
coming out, I'm finally reading Ready Player One because the movie
Oh,
is.
it's so good.
It is. I'm about halfway through it. I'm
Is it-
fucking loving
Is
Dude,
it
I
not
just-
just reference of other pop culture things?
No.
No, there
So
are
the
a
trailer
ton
is-
of references.
No,
in there.
it is a reference to every pop culture thing in the 80s, every other page.
Yeah.
It's just nostalgia wrapped in a book.
It's
It's not a
annoying.
bad book,
Yeah.
but it's nostalgia
no.
wrapped in a book.
It's
Yeah.
so
It
good.
is.
man.
There's tons of references and everything. Like it appeals to me because I actually really am into those old school computers and shit, like the Commodore 64.
I am
and all that,
too,
the
but
Tandy.
I don't like to see it self-aware. I guess
No,
like all
so-
that stuff.
So
But you like
here's the-
Deadpool.
Here's the thing: is it's not. It
I think
doesn't
it's
come
funny, but
across-
it's not something I'd go and watch it multiple times.
It doesn't come across as self-aware or anything like that because what it is it's being told through the eyes of the main character, and he himself is just giving his experiences with that stuff or like reasoning behind it. It's not like
Oh, okay.
it's not just like, oh, here's fucking this in your face now. It's just him referencing like a lot of it is like it's being told as if he's telling you the story. And so when he actually name drops stuff like World of Warcraft and whatnot, because the whole topic behind this is it's a virtual world that has become the world. Everyone now goes into this. It's the new internet.
Well, see,
and-
The
you know,
Oasis.
you know what I got
the Oasis.
from the trailer. The
I
trailer is give us money because we put stuff that you know in it.
I have
Like I have no idea what the story is. It's like a trailer's supposed to prepare me for what I'm gonna see.
yeah. That's
You
why
didn't-
I'm
I
definitely
don't give a shit about the Iron Giant
Well, they
or
did-
seeing the fucking Back to the Future car.
They did
Like,
release a new trailer that
Oh, did
actually
they?
gives you the plot of
It,
the
it
film.
played during the
That's
Last
all I
Jedi.
want.
They did it.
Yeah.
I don't think I saw any trailers for Last Jedi.
They played it when you went to go see the Last Jedi. It was,
I did not. There was no Player One. There was no Ready
Oh,
Player
really,
One
for
when I
you?
saw it.
At
yeah.
Regal Cinemas, at least. That's
Yeah, it
where
depends
I
on
saw
where
it.
you saw
I went
it.
to Harkins in
Okay.
Redlands.
Well, at Regal Cinemas, they have the Ready Player One
As-
trailer.
As
and,
someone, because you and I both got that book for free
Right.
because of Loot Crate.
and it's been a while since it's been a long time. I just haven't read it, and now I'm like, I need to fucking read
I
this.
immediately read it, and it was I very rarely read books, but when I really get into one, I can't put it down.
Yeah,
I
that's how
finished
I've
that thing
been.
in less than a week.
I read books pretty much in like at least a week's time is like how I do because sometimes I'll just sit there and read the whole thing. Like, oh my god, when I read Fight Club, I read that through. Like, I did not stop reading Fight Club when the first time I read it. And the first time I read it a second time, like within a week. Like that's like I also was doing it for school, but we were supposed to have read this book over the like period of a month and a half, and I read Fight Club twice in a week. Like it's that good. But when it came to Ready Player One right now, it's like aside from just other stuff getting in the way, like doctor's appointments and whatnot, it's fucking good. Like if you haven't read it and you're looking at the movie and you're like, oh shit, Tracer's on the fucking front of that
fucking
shit.
stupid.
And you're just interested because you're a gamer, read the fucking book.
That's
It's
why I
very
don't
good.
want to see it because it's just a cash grab. Like all I see in that trailer is like
I'm-
every scene is, hey, remember that? You know that? You know that?
I'm
You
worried
know
about that. I'm worried.
A lot of member berries going on.
Yeah, I'm really worried
Oh.
about that happening to the movie, and I'm also worried about what the rating will be because there is like more adult themes and swearing and all that stuff.
They're not throwing that
that
in.
they're just going to tone down in the movie, and I feel like it's just going to be.
It's Steven Spielberg. He's not going to do that.
Right, I think it's just going to be a kitty cash grab.
All right, so
But he did do AI. That had some adult themes going on.
we are
Yeah,
at the
but that wasn't popular.
end of the show.
Sadly.
And again, Mike, where can people follow you and or hear you if they want to?
Well, if you'd like to hear me and my people, we are here on chaoticradio.com Sunday nights from 8 to 10 p.m. Although we are on hiatus for the next 2 weeks because our show happens to fall on Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve, and ain't nobody got time for that. So you can find all of our stuff in podcast form on our website, jackofallnerdshow.com. And yeah, thanks for having me, guys. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, thanks for coming
Yeah,
on.
thanks for coming on.
Thank you, man.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Yep. From everyone here at Chaotic Radio and the Kinda Gaming Show, we want to say thank you for tuning in this evening. We will see you next week with our top 5 games of 2017,
Oh.
the end of the year game awards show. And from everyone here, we want to say thank you and stay chaotic.